Chapter 609. Qin Feiyong laughed. Don't panic, I'm here. Hearing this, Shen Mei's mind calmed down. The next moment, the two of them disappeared without a trace. Naturally, they had entered the ancient castle. Puchi! The venom sprinkled down, and within a radius of a few hundred meters, black smoke immediately rose into the air. The black smoke also carried a pungent stench. Inside the ancient castle, Ran Wushuang and the others were not distracted by the commotion outside and focused on cultivating. Even when Qin Feiyong and Shen Mei came in, no one opened their eyes to greet them with concern, because they knew that with their strength, they wouldn't be able to help at all. Rather than worrying about it, it was better to focus on closed-door cultivation. However, the moment Qin Feiyong entered the ancient castle, he felt an extremely powerful aura. This aura was almost at the level of a 2-star war master. He immediately looked towards the source of the aura. It turned out to be Wolf King. Wolf King was still lying on the altar. His eyes were slightly narrowed, as if he had fallen into a deep sleep. He was unprecedentedly peaceful. Moreover, its entire body was covered in hair, emitting a hazy light. Its entire body was filled with a divine aura, making it look like an immortal beast. What is it doing? Shen Mei naturally noticed the change in Wolf King, and her face was filled with bewilderment. It should be the precursor to a breakthrough. Qin Feiyong whispered. So fast. Shen Mei was shocked. Is it fast? If I remember correctly, it has been almost half a year since it broke through to the 1-star war master. Qin Feiyong laughed. This is already very fast, okay? Look at Murong Xiong and Dongfang Wuhan. They have already stepped into the 1-star war master a few years ago, but they still haven't broken through to the 2-star war master. You guys are really monsters. Shen Mei sent a sound transmission, her eyes filled with helplessness. From Qin Feiyong's tone, he didn't seem to be very satisfied with Wolf King's speed. Wasn't this clearly infuriating? However, the Wolf King's breakthrough was definitely a joyous occasion worthy of celebration for everyone. This way, the spiritual state would finally have a 2-star battle ancestor. Suddenly, Shen Mei seemed to have thought of something. She turned to look at Qin Feiyong and asked, "Oh right, why did you subdue that black dragon snake?" Secret. Qin Feiyong smiled mysteriously. Shen Mei rolled her eyes. In the meantime, outside, seeing Qin Feiyong suddenly disappear, the black dragon snake was furious. It looked at Dong Zhengyang and the others and roared, "Speak, where did that human go?" Dong Zhengyang's eyes flashed as he asked, "What good will it do us if I tell you? You still dare to negotiate with this emperor? You really don't know the meaning of death." The black dragon snake's huge body shook, and a monstrous ferocious aura enveloped the group. Immediately, just as his front foot left, the huge tail smashed down, and the phantom he left behind was instantly annihilated. A huge crack appeared on the ground. "Who told you to be so arrogant?" The black dragon snake sneered, thinking that it had killed Qin Feiyong's real body. He's finally dead. At the same time, Murong Xiong and Dongfang Wuhan also let out a long sigh of relief in their hearts, and then a trace of ridicule crept up in their eyes, as if they were mocking Qin Feiyong for overestimating himself. That was close. But suddenly, a voice filled with lingering fear was transmitted to their ears. N. This voice, the black dragon snake and Murong Xiong were stunned at first, then they looked in the direction of the voice. They saw Qin Feiyong standing dozens of meters away, patting his chest with lingering fear. He didn't die? In the eyes of the two men and one beast, there was a deep sense of disbelief. At the same time, Dong Zhengyang and the other two also let out a sigh of relief. When they saw Qin Feiyong being hit by the huge tail, they were scared out of their wits. Fortunately, it was just an illusion. Phew! Qin Feiyong took a deep breath, raised his head and looked at the black dragon snake, and said with a faint smile, "Looking at your appearance, you're disappointed that you couldn't kill me." The black dragon snake shook its huge head and said, "This is impossible, you're just a 9-star combat emperor, how can you be so fast?" Qin Feiyong laughed and said, "Haven't you heard of the perfect battle art?" What? The black dragon snake's body shook. This human actually mastered the perfect battle art? Oh my god! Who the hell is he? Suddenly, its eyes shone brightly, and it asked while breathing heavily, "If this emperor follows you, will you also give this emperor the perfect battle art?" This, Qin Feiyang hesitated for a moment and said with a smile, "This depends on your performance. If your performance satisfies me, what's wrong with giving it to you?" The black dragon snake said, "Deal?" Qin Feiyang nodded. "Wait a moment. Let this emperor think about it." After the black dragon snake finished speaking, it fell into a struggle. "That's it." Dong Zhangyang and the others at the side looked at each other in dismay. Originally, they thought that Qin Feiyang would have to spend a lot of effort to subdue the black dragon snake, or even something that was impossible. However, they didn't expect that he would be able to make the black dragon snake lower its head so quickly. This guy really did have a trick up his sleeve. However, Murong Xiong and Dongfang Wuhan's expressions were slightly gloomy. Murong Xiong said in a sound transmission, "We must not let him succeed. I know. Just Qin Feiyang himself and that wolf cub are enough for us to deal with. If we let him subdue this powerful black dragon snake, it will be even more impossible to kill him. But if I win by luck, you'll be loyal to me for the rest of your life." The black dragon snake was stunned. He actually used his life as a bet. Was there something wrong with this kid's head? "You don't dare? It seems that you don't have confidence in your own strength." Qin Feiyang mocked. "What a joke. There's nothing in the world that I don't dare to do. Since you want to be my food so much, I'll accompany you in this bet." Chapter 6:10. The black dragon snake nodded, and Qin Feiyang was energized, rushing towards the dragon scale like lightning. Because if he wanted to defeat the black dragon snake, he had to shatter the dragon scale first. In the blink of an eye, Qin Feiyang and the dragon scale met. Fight! Immediately. He activated the battle formula without hesitation, and his long black hair and eyes quickly turned blood red, as if they were dyed with blood. What an amazing fighting spirit! The black dragon snake's pupils shrank. Originally, Qin Feiyang was just a very small ant in its eyes, but now in its eyes, he was like a barbaric war god descending into the world. It couldn't help but panic in its heart. Look at Qin Feiyang again. After activating the battle formula, he was only a few inches away from the dragon scale. The sharpness of the dragon scale was about to tear his body apart. Even with the protection of the battle formula, he felt the threat of death at this time. However, he didn't panic at all. Using the phantom steps, he took a step forward, and at the same time, turned his body sideways, and the dragon scale flew past in front of him. But before the dragon scale flew past, he suddenly raised the arm holding Chang Shui, and the blade gently scratched the dragon scale. All of this. It was all calculated in advance. Because, if he confronted the dragon scale head-on, he would suffer a full impact. After all, the dragon scale was very powerful, and even if Chang Shui destroyed the dragon scale, he would be blasted into dregs by the dragon scale, and not even a strand of hair would be left. And now, he turned sideways to avoid a head-on collision with the dragon scale, and only used Chang Shui's blade to gently scratch the dragon scale. In this way, the impact he suffered would be much less. The injury he would suffer would naturally not be so serious. As for whether this could destroy the dragon scale, Qin Feiyang didn't consider it at all. Because with Chang Shui's sharpness, even if it was just a slight friction, he was confident that he could destroy the dragon scale. In the blink of an eye, Qin Feiyang leaned forward, and Chang Shui scratched the dragon scale, and immediately there was an ear-piercing sound of metal exploding. In the meantime, where Chang Shui and the dragon scale came into contact, dazzling sparks burst forth. However, all of this was like a flash in the pan, and it happened in an instant. However, although it was only a light slash, Qin Feiyang was still sent flying by the dragon scale. Not only was his body cracked, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and even his internal organs were shattered. As for the arm that was holding Chang Shui, it shattered on the spot, blood and flesh splattering everywhere. If he didn't have the battle character's secret art, if he were to face Long Lin head-on, there was no doubt that his blood would have splashed across the sky. Bang! Qin Feiyang was like a cannonball, crashing into a huge boulder beside him. With a loud boom, the boulder was instantly shattered. Qin Feiyang was once again smashed into the ground, creating a deep pit. Dong Zhangyang and the others glanced at Qin Feiyang and immediately looked at the dragon scale. The dragon scale was like a flying blade, constantly spinning in the air. Upon closer inspection, one would discover that there was a white mark on the dragon scale, but it was not broken. Upon realizing this, Dong Zhangyang and the others were immediately disappointed. But the black dragon snake's eyes were full of disdain. It lowered its head to look at Qin Feiyong lying in the deep pit and said contemptuously, "Now do you know the gap between you and this emperor? But you're also quite impressive to not die like this." The corners of Qin Feiyong's mouth twitched, and he said with a chuckle, "Thank you for the compliment." Ah! The black dragon snake was stunned. Even now he could still laugh. This human brat was quite interesting. Qin Feiyong struggled to get up, took out a 4-patterned regeneration pill and a few healing pills, and stuffed them into his mouth. The medicinal pills melted as soon as they entered his mouth. Majestic energy surged to his limbs and bones like a torrent. To his fragmented physical body, this was simply like a sweet rain descending, frantically absorbing. His injuries also immediately healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. However, this could only treat the symptoms and not the root cause. Because the injuries were too serious, only the fire of life could completely heal. However, now was not the time to heal. He had to hold on. Just as Qin Feiyong took out the medicinal pills, the black dragon snake's pupils could not help but shrink, full of disbelief. Then, seeing Qin Feiyong's injuries recover at a terrifying speed, the surprise in its eyes became even stronger. Was this emperor's eyes playing tricks on him? It's actually 4 pill patterns? You're an alchemist? The black dragon snake asked. That's right. Qin Feiyong nodded. The black dragon snake said, "Well, now I'll give you a chance. As long as you agree to be this emperor's servant, this emperor will not kill you." You're so confident? The corners of Qin Feiyong's mouth lifted slightly. Clang! Before his voice faded, a loud sound suddenly exploded, resounding through the heavens and earth, almost tearing everyone's eardrums. Everyone looked towards the sound and suddenly turned pale with fright. They saw that the dragon scale rotating in the void suddenly split into 2 at this moment, split into 2 halves. Then, the 2 halves of the dragon scale were fragmented and finally completely disintegrated, turning into powder. How is this possible? Seeing this scene, the black dragon snake's eyes almost popped out. At the same time, a trace of blood flowed from the corner of its mouth, and its aura suddenly dropped by a small realm. What's impossible? Qin Feiyong's voice sounded. He walked out of the deep pit step by step, his blood-red clothes fluttering in the wind, and his blood-red hair dancing in the wind. Dong Zhengyang and the others looked over. In a trance, it was as if they had seen the return of an invincible war god. Their minds could not help but tremble. One must know. Previously, they were unable to destroy the dragon scale even when they worked together, but now it was destroyed in the hands of Qin Feiyong. Just what level was this guy's strength at? Swish! Suddenly, several people looked at Chang Shui who had fallen to the ground, including the black dragon snake, their eyes shining. Especially Murong Xiong, Dongfang Wuhan, and the black dragon snake, their greed was undisguised. Murong Xiong clenched his fists, his eyes burning, and said, "Dongfang Wuhan, do it." Dongfang Wuhan said, "Don't be impulsive, it's not wise to make a move now. What are you afraid of? As long as we get that dagger, even if Qin Feiyong and Dong Zhengyang join forces, we can still kill them." Murong Xiong said. Heard. Dongfang Wuhan began to be tempted. Murong Xiong urged, "Hurry up, or it will be too late." Because Qin Feiyong was walking towards Chang Shui. Dongfang Wuhan glanced at Qin Feiyong, then glanced at Dong Zhengyang and the other 2. Finally, he made up his mind and shouted, "Get it!" Whoosh! Almost at the same time, the 2 shot out like a sharp arrow. And Dong Zhengyang and the other 2 were stunned. Qin Feiyong also looked at the 2 suspiciously. But they were all smart people, and they immediately saw through the purpose of the 2. Dongfang Wuhan, Murong Xiong. What are you doing? Shen Long and Jiang Wei shouted and did not hesitate to intercept Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong. But Dong Zhengyang did not move. He glanced at them, his eyes flickering. But at the same time, the black dragon snake suddenly raised its huge tail and roared, "The dagger is mine, who dares to snatch it?" Finished. It raised its huge tail high and smashed towards Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong. It seems that this dagger of mine is very popular. Qin Feiyong chuckled. Not only was he not worried at all, but he stopped and crossed his arms over his chest, looking at the black dragon snake, Dongfang Wuhan, and Murong Xiong with ridicule. Dongfang Wuhan looked at Qin Feiyong and shouted, "Murong Xiong, you stop Shenlong and Jiang Wei." Boom! Murong Xiong suddenly turned around. His aura erupted, and his hands burst out, blasting towards Shenlong and Jiang Wei. You two really don't change. Shenlong and Jiang Wei shouted angrily, raised their fists, and blasted towards Murong Xiong with all their strength. At the same time, Dongfang Wuhan looked at the black dragon snake and sneered. Without the dragon scales, you are not even as good as an ant, and you still dare to be arrogant in front of me. He raised his hand and waved it. Battle chi surged, and a huge arrow appeared out of nowhere. Sun-breaking arrow, die. Following that, Dongfang Wuhan roared towards the sky, and the arrow pierced through the air, shooting towards the black dragon snake's huge tail. The sun-breaking arrow was a superior battle art. At this moment, the black dragon snake's strength had been greatly reduced. Even if it had an astonishing defense, it would not be able to block the attack of the sun-breaking arrow. Boom! Immediately, its huge tail was shattered by the sun-breaking arrow, and blood flowed out like a fountain. Moreover, its huge body was sent flying as it howled miserably. Trash! Dongfang Wuhan laughed disdainfully and lowered his head to look at the dagger. His heart was immediately filled with greed as he crazily rushed towards the dagger. Just as the black dragon snake was sent flying by Dongfang Wuhan, another scream rang out. It was Murong Xiong's scream. Shenlong and Jiang Wei were both one-star war master now. With Murong Xiong's strength alone, how could he be their match? Just like the black dragon snake, he was directly blasted out, blood spurting out of his mouth. Dongfang Wuhan, stop being stubborn. After sending Murong Xiong flying, Shenlong and Jiang Wei chased after Dongfang Wuhan without stopping. Dongfang Wuhan turned his head and glanced at the two of them, and roared, "What benefits did Qin Feiyong give you to make you work so hard for him?" Shenlong said, "He was the one who gave us the pill to let us step into the War Master. Just based on this, we should repay him." Pill, it really is a pill. Dongfang Wuhan's gaze trembled. But what kind of pill was it? Was there such a magical pill in the world? Forget it. Compared to that pill, this dagger is more important. He muttered to himself. At this time, he was only 5 or 6 meters away from Chang Shui. With his cultivation, it could be said that he could easily obtain it. Wait until I get the dagger, all of you will die. Dongfang Wuhan roared in his heart, and then pounced towards Chang Shui. His face even revealed an expression of ecstasy. Crash! However, at this moment, a dark iron chain cut through the sky like lightning and wrapped around Dongfang Wuhan's waist. Freeze! Next! Dong Zhengyang's shout rang out, and the iron chain immediately released a black light, and an obscure aura spread out. Dongfang Wuhan was frozen in the air on the spot. This time, he was dumbfounded. The dagger was right in front of his eyes, but at this moment, it was as if there was a heavenly moat between them, something that could be seen but not touched. This kind of feeling made him go crazy. His anger burned the sky. Sigh. Qin Feiyong sighed deeply, walked step by step in front of Chang Shui, bent down and picked it up. Looking at the angry Dongfang Wuhan, he said, "Is it that easy to steal my things?" With that, Qin Feiyong raised his head to look at Dong Zhengyang, and laughed. "Brother Dong, let him go." Dong Zhengyang was stunned. Chapter 6:11. They all thought that Qin Feiyong would directly kill Dongfang Wuhan this time, but they didn't expect that he would let him go. When did this guy become so magnanimous? Qin Feiyong smiled faintly and said, "This dagger can cut through iron like mud. It can be said to be a peerless treasure. If it were me, I would also be tempted." Therefore, his previous actions are understandable. The three of them were stunned. He was really considerate. But why did it seem a little ironic? Dongfang Wuhan also looked at Qin Feiyong strangely. Was there really nothing wrong with this person's head? Let him go. I believe that this time he will repent. Qin Feiyong smiled at Dong Zhengyang, then looked down at Dongfang Wuhan and said with a smile, "Am I right, senior brother Wuhan?" Dongfang Wuhan was stunned and hurriedly said, Yes, I will definitely turn over a new leaf." Dong Zhengyang coldly glanced at Dongfang Wuhan, then looked at Qin Feiyong and frowned. "Are you sure you want to do this?" Qin Feiyong nodded. Dong Zhengyang didn't say anything more and put away the battle soul. Since the person involved didn't pursue the matter, if he, as a bystander, didn't let it go, it would seem that he was too nosy. Without the restraint of the battle soul, Dongfang Wuhan moved his body and cupped his hands. Junior brother Qin, thank you for your magnanimity. Qin Feiyang said with a smile, I have already let you go several times. There must not be a next time. No, no. Dongfang Wuhan waved his hands again and again. But he was really puzzled. What kind of trick was Qin Feiyang playing? He absolutely didn't believe that Qin Feiyang was magnanimous. One must know. In the past, the Lu and Dong families had been exterminated just because they had offended him. It could be seen that he was a ruthless character. Could it be that there was really something wrong with his head? At this time, Murong Xiong, who was not far away, also got up and looked at Qin Feiyang in confusion. Shen Long immediately pointed at Murong Xiong and asked Qin Feiyang, what about him? Qin Feiyang smiled and said, we can't favor one and discriminate against the other. Since we have forgiven senior brother Wuhan, we naturally have to forgive senior brother Murong. Even let him go? Dong Zhengyang and the other two looked at each other, their minds in a mess. Murong Xiong was also stunned, unable to speak for a long time. Dongfang Wuhan coughed dryly and shouted, Murong Xiong, why haven't you thanked junior brother Qin for sparing your life? Yes, yes, yes. Murong Xiong quivered and hurriedly bowed. Senior martial brother Qin, thank you for letting bygones be bygones. Don't worry, I'll do my best to assist you in killing all the enemies. Qin Feiyang cupped his hands and smiled. Thank you for your support, senior brother Murong. Of course, of course. Murong Xiong quickly smiled apologetically. Qin Feiyang said, let's go and meet that black dragon snake again. Dong Zhengyang shook his head and said, with your injuries, it'll be difficult for you to even walk. I'll go. You just wait here. Why should you go? If you want to go, he should go because he was the one who sent me flying. Shen Long snorted and glanced at Dongfang Wuhan as he spoke. What's the problem? I'll go. Murong Xiong, come and help me. Dongfang Wuhan said with a smile. After that he rushed forward. You wait a moment. Murong Xiong smiled embarrassedly at Qin Feiyang and the other two and quickly followed. As soon as the two left, Dong Zhengyang asked, Qin Feiyang, what do you want to do? Qin Feiyang smiled and said, as a person, don't be too ruthless. You have to leave a way out for others. TCH. Dong Zhengyang and the other two immediately revealed a look of disdain. If this sentence came from someone else's mouth, they might still believe it. But if it came from Qin Feiyang's mouth, it would be strange if they believed it. However, Qin Feiyang didn't want to say, so they didn't ask. Brother Qin, when Dongfang Wuhan pounced on the dagger, why didn't you seem worried at all? Jiang Wei was suspicious. That dagger is psychic. It has accompanied him in battle for many years and has long recognized him as its master. As long as he wills it, it will return to his hands. What is he worried about? Dong Zhengyang pursed his lips and said, so that's how it is. Jiang Wei suddenly realized. Dong Zhengyang continued, moreover if I'm not wrong, he was using Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong just now. Use. Shen Long and Jiang Wei didn't understand. Qin Feiyang looked at Dong Zhengyang in surprise and said with a smile, tell me, how did I use them? You still want to test me? Okay, I'll tell you. With your current state, even if the black dragon snake's dragon scales are destroyed, you won't be able to defeat it. So you used Chang Shui to tempt Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong. Similarly, you also expected that the black dragon snake would definitely snatch it. At that time when the two of them and the black dragon snake fight, it will definitely be a situation where both sides suffer. And you just need to sit back and reap the benefits. Am I right? Dong Zhengyang said. Clang. Haha, Qin Feiyang laughed. But this laugh pulled at the wound in his body, and blood began to flow from the corner of his mouth. He hurriedly stopped talking, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and gave Dong Zhengyang a thumbs up. Dong Zhengyang's brain was indeed not something that Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong could compare to. Shen Long and Jiang Wei, who were at the side, were stunned. Jiang Wei shook his head and said, I didn't expect there to be so many mysteries hidden in this. You people are really too treacherous. Shen Long sighed and said, yes, compared to you, Jiang Wei and I are as simple as children. Dong Zhengyang's face twitched and said, are you saying that we are treacherous in disguise? You admitted it yourself. We didn't say that. Shen Long laughed and said, But just now when I saw you standing there and didn't understand, I thought you were also coveting that dagger. Dong Zhengyang was stunned and said with a wry smile, "To be honest, if I said I didn't want such a sharp dagger, would you believe me?" Ah. Shenlong was stunned. Indeed, who wouldn't want such a treasure? Jiang Wei asked. Then why didn't you do it? Didn't I just say that Qin Feiyang only needs to think, and the dagger will return to his hand? Is there any point in me doing it? Besides, you two are helping him, so I don't dare to do it. Dong Zhengyang said with a smile. Come on. The two couldn't help but roll their eyes at him. Before in the inner palace, their relationship was not so good, and it could even be said that they were competitors. But after this period of time together, everyone had subconsciously regarded each other as friends. Only the relationship between Qin Feiyang and Dong Zhengyang was somewhat complicated. At the same time, when Wu Yan and the others in the castle heard these words, they also became more and more fearful of Qin Feiyang. To be able to casually scheme against Dongfang Wuhan, this kind of scheming was really frightening. This also made them even more determined to not offend this person again. Boom! Suddenly, not far ahead, there was a deafening explosion, followed by an intense battle ripple. Shenlong looked up and said, "They are fighting." Dong Zhengyang said, "Don't worry with their strength, it's more than enough to deal with the current black dragon snake." "I'm afraid," Jiang Wei asked, "what are you afraid of?" "I'm afraid that they will kill the black dragon snake, because once the black dragon snake is subdued by Qin Feiyang." At this point, Dong Zhengyang did not continue, because everyone could think of the reason. Qin Feiyang raised his eyebrows slightly. But suddenly, his eyes trembled and he shouted, "Something's wrong." "What's wrong?" The three were surprised. Qin Feiyang said, "Carefully sense, the aura that is fighting with them is very strange. It's not the black dragon snake." The three carefully sensed, and their faces were suddenly filled with surprise. It was indeed not the black dragon snake. The aura of the black dragon snake was filled with a dark and cold aura. But at this time, the fierce beast that was fighting with Dongfang Wuhan had a brutal and bloody aura. Qin Feiyang said, "Let's go and take a look." Dong Zhengyang immediately waved his hand, rolled up Qin Feiyang, and rushed towards the location of the battle wave. Shenlong and Jiang Wei followed them closely. After dozens of breaths, the four of them came to a short mountain. The short mountain was 50 to 60 feet tall, and the vegetation was lush. But at this moment, the short mountain trembled violently, and waves of gravel kept rolling down. The four of them looked at each other and quickly climbed up. Standing at a commanding height, they looked ahead, and their faces immediately changed. More than 200 meters in front of them, there was a huge monster. It was a giant crocodile, its body was more than 40 meters long, its head was like a dragon's head, and its ferocious aura was monstrous. Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong joined forces, but they were still beaten back, their bodies dripping with blood. Around them, the mountains collapsed and the earth cracked. The earth within 1,000 meters was shaking. Dragon crocodile. Could it be the crocodile emperor? Shenlong said in surprise. Jiang Wei said solemnly, "Nonsense, it must be the crocodile emperor. Quickly analyze its cultivation." Dong Zhengyang said, "No need to analyze, it's a 2-star battle ancestor." Fortunately, Shenlong and Murong Xiong immediately breathed a sigh of relief. It was just that it was not impossible to kill a 2-star battle ancestor. Dong Zhengyang turned to look at Qin Feiyang and said, "You wait here, we'll go help." "Be careful," Qin Feiyang warned. Whoosh! The three of them rushed out and went straight to the battlefield. Sensing the three's aura, Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong looked back and were instantly overjoyed. Kill! As soon as Dong Zhengyang and the other two arrived, they unleashed their aura and fought with the crocodile emperor. "You lowly humans, not only did you not kneel when you saw me, but you even attacked me. How dare you!" The crocodile emperor shouted. Its giant tail rose into the air and slapped the ground. Boom! Immediately, the air billowed, and the 5 of them were sent flying, their faces pale. After Dong Zhengyang stabilized his body, he shouted, "Use your battle arts, don't hold back." Boom! The 5 of them attacked at the same time, instantly evolving 5 powerful battle arts and attacking the crocodile emperor. At the same time, Qin Feiyang looked at the crocodile emperor in surprise. The crocodile emperor's voice was actually a woman's voice? In other words, it was a female crocodile. Boom! But in the face of 5 great battle arts, the Crocodile Emperor did not retreat. It still raised its giant tail and swept it, showing its strength. Accompanied by an earth-shattering sound, the Crocodile Emperor's giant tail was torn open on the spot. Blood poured out like a waterfall, dyeing the void red. However, Dong Zhengyang and the other 4 were also sent flying, blood spurting out from their mouths. What a strong defense! It's more than a few times stronger than the Crocodile Emperor. The 5 of them narrowed their eyes, but it was not that they could not win. The 5 of them regrouped and attacked the Crocodile Emperor again, all of them murderous. Chapter 6:12. Qin Feiyang looked at it for a while, then looked away and scanned the surroundings. Why didn't he see any trace of the black dragon snake? If it was dead, there should be a corpse. He looked up at Dongfang Wuhan and shouted, "Senior brother Wuhan, where is the black dragon snake? It escaped, and now I don't know where it is?" Dongfang Wuhan answered without looking back. "Escaped?" Qin Feiyang frowned and entered the castle in the next moment. Looking at Wolf King lying on the altar, he looked at Shen Mei and asked, "You haven't broken through yet?" Shen Mei said it should be soon. Qin Feiyang nodded and strode to the altar. He opened the iron box and took out the fire of life. Then, he closed the iron box and held the fire of life in his big hand. He once again appeared on the short mountain and looked at the battlefield. The energy of the fire of life was extremely majestic. Like a torrent, it constantly rushed into Qin Feiyang's body. The injuries in his body were recovering faster than before. And the battle between Dong Zhengyang's group and the Crocodile Emperor had also reached its climax. Waves of destructive air blasts came crashing down with earth-shattering momentum. The mountains and earth around Qin Feiyang were collapsing and cracking. The rumbling was deafening. With the advantage, it seems that I don't need to make a move, Qin Feiyang muttered. Although the Crocodile Emperor's defense was amazing, the combined combat power of the 5 was not bad and gradually gained the upper hand. Kacha! Boom! At this moment, suddenly, a loud sound came from the right. And Qin Feiyang was surprised and hurriedly turned his head to look. He saw the ancient trees breaking, the mountains collapsing, and the ground shaking violently. A pitch-black giant python was rushing towards them. "I was worried about where to find you," Qin Feiyang muttered. "That's right. That giant python was the black dragon snake." However, seeing the appearance of the black dragon snake, Shenlong and the others were shocked. One must know, it was not easy for them to gain the upper hand. If the black dragon snake and the Crocodile Emperor joined forces, they would definitely die. At this moment, Qin Feiyang said, "Don't get distracted. I'll deal with it." "Can you do it?" Dong Zhengyang asked. He wasn't doubting Qin Feiyang's ability, but he was worried because Qin Feiyang had been seriously injured before. "No problem." Qin Feiyang nodded. "All right, try your best to hold it back. Once we're done with the Crocodile Emperor, we'll come and help you immediately. Everyone, let's work harder." Dong Zhengyang roared. The 5 of them gave it their all to suppress the Crocodile Emperor. The Crocodile Emperor roared continuously. However, it was useless as the outcome had already been decided. In the meantime, the black dragon snake had no intention of helping the Crocodile Emperor. It went straight to the short mountain below Qin Feiyang's feet. Qin Feiyang laughed and said, "You still dare to come back?" The black dragon snake said disdainfully, "Why wouldn't I dare? The battle between you and me is not over yet." Qin Feiyang shook his head and said, "No, when I destroyed your dragon scales, our battle was already over. Bastard, die for me." At the mention of the dragon scales being destroyed, the black dragon snake was furious. It opened its mouth wide and spat out venom. It was like a sharp arrow, shooting towards Qin Feiyang. Fight! Qin Feiyang's battle-intent soared. His blood-red hair danced in the air. He raised his right hand and slammed it in the air. Boom! A dazzling golden light surged out like a tide and pounced on the poisonous liquid. Whoosh! Immediately, the venom turned in the air and shot towards the black dragon snake. What? The black dragon snake was stunned. "Are you kidding me? Is this possible?" Poof! In an instant, the venom was all sprinkled on its body, emitting wisps of black smoke. However, It was a poisonous creature and had a certain immunity to poison. Moreover, it was the venom that it spat out. Naturally, it couldn't hurt it. Of course. Qin Feiyong didn't expect the venom to hurt the black dragon snake. He was just stalling for time. When his injuries were healed, it would be the time for the black dragon snake to submit. Qin Feiyong laughed. Why don't we talk again? Talk your sister. After being thwarted repeatedly, the black dragon snake had long lost its patience. How could it be in the mood to talk nonsense with Qin Feiyong? Behind it, a huge beast shadow suddenly appeared. Qin Feiyong raised his head and looked over. His eyes were burning with passion. That beast shadow was actually a black dragon. It was dozens of feet long and was like a mountain ridge in the sky. Waves of dragon might. And this black dragon was the black dragon snake's battle soul. It had already activated the dragon soul, so wouldn't the chances of transforming into a divine dragon be even greater? He had to subdue it. Qin Feiyong waved his hand, and a round fatso appeared. What? When he saw the black dragon soul above the black dragon snake, Fatso's eyeballs almost popped out. Because his battle soul was also a black dragon soul. He asked in a daze, "Boss, what's going on?" Qin Feiyong smiled and said, "Originally, I wanted to take it as a mount, but after thinking about it, it's more suitable for you've." Mount. Fatso was stunned. He sized up the black dragon snake from head to toe and said disdainfully, "How can this ugly little bug be worthy of Fat Lord? Damn it. You're calling me a little bug again. Could it be that in your eyes, I'm so unbearable? It seems that if I don't flip out, you guys really think I'm a sick cat." The black dragon snake was so angry that it was on fire. Roar! The black dragon soul above its head suddenly raised its head and let out a dragon's roar. Then, it bared its fangs and brandished its claws as it pounced towards the two of them. "Even if you show your might, you're still a sick cat." Fatso still had a look of disdain on his face. He turned to look at Qin Feiyong and said, "Boss, can you not waste Fat Lord's time? Fat Lord still has to hurry up and break through to 2-star War Master, so that he won't be surpassed by you. Don't worry. Let me tell you secretly, it has a great chance of transforming into a real dragon in the future. Think about it, when you ride it out, how cool and handsome will it be?" Qin Feiyong said in a low voice. Fatso was surprised and asked, "Really? Why would I lie to you?" Qin Feiyong rolled his eyes at him. Fatso was overjoyed, but then frowned and asked, "Then is the probability of transformation high?" Qin Feiyong thought, according to the current situation, it has both dragon scales and dragon soul. The probability should be above 70%. This probability is enough. Fatso immediately became excited. Dragon Knight. TSK TSK TSK. Just thinking about it made him drool. He suddenly turned around, looked at the black dragon snake and shouted, "Immediately submit to Fat Lord, or else Fat Lord will kill you and make soup." "Fuck, who do you think you are? Dragon soul, tear him apart for me." The black dragon snake roared, burning with anger. "It's just him, no way." Fatso shook his finger, revealing a face full of contempt. Next. He turned his gaze and looked at the battlefield where Dong Zhengyang and the others were, and chuckled. "Dong Feng Wuhan, Murong Xiong, all of you open your eyes wide and look at Fat Lord. The reason why Fat Lord didn't fight with you in the past was not because he was afraid of you, but because he didn't want to bully the weak with his strength." Dong Feng Wuhan and Murong Xiong were both shocked and angry. "What nonsense are you talking about? Hurry up and go." Qin Feiyong's face darkened, and he directly kicked Fatso's butt, sending him flying. "Boss, Fat Lord wants to break off all ties with you." Fatty immediately let out a furious roar. "All right." Qin Feiyong laughed in ridicule. Fatso's face changed. After stabilizing his body, he hurriedly turned his head to look at Qin Feiyong and waved his hand. Don't, Fat Lord is just joking." Finished. He turned his head to look at the black dragon snake and shouted, "Little bug, surrender, transform." Boom. As his voice fell, a powerful aura roared out from his body. The clothes on his body were instantly torn to pieces, leaving only his underwear. "What's going on?" Qin Feiyong was shocked. But the next moment, an astonishing scene occurred. Black scales appeared all over Fatso's body, about the size of a thumb, glowing with a dark light. "Are these dragon scales?" Qin Feiyong was dumbfounded. The black dragon snake's eyes were also wide open, full of disbelief. The most incredible thing was that Fatso actually had a tail on his butt, and it was also a dragon tail. Seeing this scene, Dong Zhengyang and the others who were not far away were also shocked to the extreme. Even the crocodile emperor couldn't help but look at Fatso strangely. And at the same time, Fatso's hands and feet began to twist, as if something was trying to drill out from under his skin. Finally, his nails grew longer and his fingers thickened, turning into dragon claws. Dragon scales, dragon tail, dragon claws. Qin Feiyang muttered to himself, as if he suddenly thought of something, and said in surprise, "Could this be? That's right." Fatso nodded and laughed wildly. "This is Fat Lord's perfect battle art, dragon transformation art." "Boss, how is it?" "Fat Lord's dragon warrior looks handsome." "Handsome." Qin Feiyang nodded. "What? You also have a perfect battle art." The black dragon snake's eyes trembled. At the same time, the dragon's soul also stopped in the void. Dongfeng Wuhen and the others were even more shocked in their hearts. Originally, they thought that only Qin Feiyang had a perfect battle art, but they didn't expect this wretched Fatso to have one too. So to say, even Ruffian Wolf and Lu Hong had one too? The crocodile emperor's pupils also constricted. They even had a perfect battle art. What kind of monsters were these humans? Fatso looked at Dongfeng Wuhan and Murong Xiong proudly, then raised his head to look at the black dragon snake, and said proudly, "I'll give you one more chance, obediently surrender, or else you'll suffer." The black dragon snake was mad with anger, and roared, "So what if you have a perfect battle art? See how this emperor will deal with you." Boom! The dragon's soul continued to attack Fatso. "Little guy." Fatso disdainfully raised his hand and punched the dragon's soul's head. "No. It should be called a dragon claw now." "Ew." The dragon's soul wailed on the spot, its head instantly shattered, and its huge body also disintegrated. "So strong?" Qin Feiyang was flabbergasted. One had to know that that was a battle soul, and a dragon soul at that. It was many times stronger than an ordinary battle soul, yet it was actually scattered with a single punch. Wasn't this too ridiculously strong? However, although the dragon soul had been dispersed, Fatso's dragon claw had also shattered, and he was sent flying, crashing into the ground beside the short mountain. Obviously, the dragon soul was also very powerful. The black dragon snake was shocked for a while, then lowered his head to look at Fatso, and sneered, "The perfect battle art isn't that great." Heh. Fatso jumped up like a carp and stood firmly on the ground. He did not seem to be injured at all, and was full of energy. "It's too early for you to boast. The dragon transformation art is not as simple as you think." Fatso grinned, and the aura around his body suddenly soared. 2-star War Master. 3 breaths of War Master. 4-star War Master. Only when Fatso's aura soared to the level of a 5-star War Master did it stop. Looking at the arrogant and awe-inspiring Fatso, the shock in Qin Feiyang's heart could not be any greater. Chapter 6:13. The fatty looked at the black dragon snake in an overbearing manner and chuckled. "How is it? Did I scare you?" "Scared? Don't joke around. Who do you think you are? If my dragon scales were still here, killing you would be as easy as slaughtering a dog." The black dragon snake was disdainful. In fact, it was scared, but its pride did not allow it to admit it. "Continue to be arrogant. It just so happens that Fat Lord has time today. I'll slowly play with you." Fatso snickered and took a step forward. His speed suddenly skyrocketed. In the blink of an eye, he landed in front of the black dragon snake. The dragon tail on his butt was like a long black whip, fiercely whipping the black dragon snake. "Ew." The black dragon snake let out a miserable howl and was sent flying on the spot. The place where it was hit was even more lacerated and fresh blood gushed out. "Damn Fatso, I'm going to skin you." The black dragon snake roared, its anger soaring to the sky. "Come on." Fatso hooked his finger provocatively. Qin Feiyang, who was standing on the short hill, could not help but shake his head. After the transformation, Fatso not only increased his cultivation to a 5-star battlemaster, but his defense was also comparable to a 5-star battlemaster. In other words, the dragon transformation art was a perfect battle art with both offense and defense. With Fatso's current combat strength, Dealing with the black dragon snake without dragon scales was simply like playing with a toy. On the other side, the battle between the Crocodile Emperor and Dong Zhengyang's group had begun again. The Crocodile Emperor was still being suppressed by the 5 of them. However, the 5 of them also had different degrees of injuries on their bodies. After all, the Crocodile Emperor was a 2-star battlemaster and its strength was not inferior to anyone. Coupled with the scales on its body, its defense was extremely terrifying. It was definitely impossible for the 5 of them to escape unscathed. However, the battle situation had stabilized. The final winner would definitely belong to their side. Qin Feiyang also heaved a sigh of relief and then immersed his mind into his body. The majestic energy of the fire of life was like a tide surging in his body. The damaged internal organs had already been repaired. Next, he calmed himself down and listened to the movements around the island. Immediately, a series of low rumbling sounds came from afar. It was obvious. The crocodiles were still destroying the footholds around the island. Judging from the direction of the sound, they had already arrived at the left and right sides of the island and were moving forward. Hurry up, or it'll be too late. Fatso, stop playing around and subdue it. Qin Feiyang shouted and entered the castle, putting the flame of life into the iron box. He didn't dare to carry such a treasure with him. Wolf King hadn't broken through yet either. Qin Feiyang glanced at it, then left the castle and appeared at the peak of the short mountain. Roar! Rumble! When Dong Zhengyang and the other 4 heard Qin Feiyang's shout, they sped up and attacked the Crocodile Emperor crazily. It was as if he was going all out. In the meantime, in the face of the storm-like attacks from the 5, the Crocodile Emperor quickly lost its ability to fight back. Its injuries continued to worsen and it was on the brink of death. Fatso also stopped playing around and attacked the black dragon snake, causing it to flee and howl miserably. It seems that the battle will end in less than 100 breaths. There should still be time. Qin Feiyang glanced at both sides of the battlefield and muttered to himself. But suddenly, his pupils contracted and his gaze swept around the short mountain. The surrounding mountains and rivers were collapsing, and the earth was collapsing. The terrifying shockwaves from the battle were destroying everything in its path. Suddenly, Qin Feiyang looked down at the short mountain under his feet and his eyes were filled with doubt. How could this be? He kept muttering. One had to know that there were countless mountains that were taller and larger than this short mountain in the surroundings. As for those mountain ridges, they had all collapsed and turned into ruins. But why hadn't this short mountain collapsed yet? Although the short mountain had been trembling from the beginning, accompanied by gravel and mud sliding down, it was still intact. This was obviously beyond common sense. How could a short mountain that was hundreds of feet tall withstand such a violent bombardment? Could it be that there was something hidden underneath? With that thought, Qin Feiyang stomped down with all his strength. Boom! The short mountain shook violently at once, and the soil and gravel slid down in pieces. But it still didn't collapse. Qin Feiyang was dumbfounded. The strength of his stomp was enough to crush mountains and rivers, but it couldn't do anything to a short mountain made of mud? This undoubtedly confirmed his thoughts that there was something inside the short mountain. He glanced at the ground and found a crack. Then, he squatted on the ground and dug the crack open. He found that it was black inside. What is it? His eyes were filled with surprise. Could it be some kind of mystical iron? Suddenly, Qin Feiyang became excited. It seemed that he had accidentally encountered some kind of treasure this time. He hurriedly took out a dagger, but it was not Chong Shui. It was just an ordinary dagger. Then, he grabbed the dagger and dug with all his strength. For a time, the soil in this place splashed everywhere. Clang! Suddenly, the tip of the dagger rubbed against the black mystical iron and exploded with an ear-piercing metallic sound and sparks. It's really mystical iron. Qin Feiyang's eyes lit up. He didn't dare to stay any longer. He cursed and quickly retreated. Seeing that they had all run away, the black dragon snake's eyes flickered. It also turned and ran away. During the whole process, the Crocodile Emperor didn't stop them. It just looked at them coldly. Fatso went all out and was the first to catch up with Qin Feiyang. He asked, "Boss, what's going on?" Qin Feiyang said, "Let's talk about it later." After galloping for 500 or 600 meters, Qin Feiyang finally stopped. He turned around and looked at the short mountain in the distance. But because of the blood fog blocking the view, the short mountain was very blurry. He could only see a rough outline. Not long after, Dong Zhengyang and the others also rushed over one after another. Before Dongfang Wuhan could catch his breath, he asked, "Junior brother Qin, what did you find?" Qin Feiyang said in a deep voice, "There's another crocodile emperor lurking there." "What?" Their faces turned pale with fright. But Murong Xiong suddenly frowned and said, "That's not right. If there is, why didn't it come out just now?" "I don't know. But I can conclude that there's another crocodile emperor, and it's in the short mountain I was standing on just now," Qin Feiyang said. "Short mountain?" They were stunned and turned to look at the short mountain. Immediately, their pupils shrank. When they were fighting with the crocodile emperor, they didn't have time to be distracted, so they didn't pay attention to the short mountain. But now, the short mountain didn't collapse. Was this a joke? After a moment of silence, Murong Xiong said, "Actually, I still have some doubts. Could there be something else inside?" Qin Feiyang shook his head and said, "Impossible, because I sensed a heartbeat. Roar. Boom." But before Qin Feiyang finished his words, a deafening roar sounded. Followed closely. They vaguely saw that the short mountain exploded and a huge monster jumped out. At the same time, a terrifying ferocious aura surged out in all directions like a raging wave. This ferocious might. When the ferocious might rushed over, Qin Feiyang and the others couldn't help but feel their scalps go numb. Because this ferocious might surpassed the crocodile emperor from before. Dong Zhengyang said in a deep voice, "If my analysis is not wrong, it should be a 3-star war sect." Boom. Hearing this, Murong Xiong's body and mind trembled as cold sweat broke out all over his body. Fortunately, they were discovered by Qin Feiyang in advance. Otherwise they might have been completely annihilated. Murong Xiong couldn't help but look at Qin Feiyang gratefully. Boom. At this time, the earth shook violently. At the same time, Qin Feiyang and the others saw that the huge monster was moving quickly towards them. "It should be taking revenge for that female crocodile," Qin Feiyang said. Moreover, the huge monster's movement speed was extremely fast. In a few blinks of an eye, it had closed the distance of 100 meters and entered their line of sight. It was indeed a dragon crocodile. Its body was more than 50 meters long, and its scales looked as if they were cast from divine iron. It emitted an astonishing ferocious aura. Wherever it went, the mountains and rivers would shatter and the ancient trees would be ruthlessly trampled. Its ferocious might was unstoppable. At this moment, Dong Zhengyang and the others panicked. Qin Feiyang swept his gaze across the few of them and said, "Don't panic, although it has the strength of a 3-star war sect, it doesn't have any supporting techniques, so it can't catch up to us." "That's right. We're faster than it. What's there to be afraid of?" His words woke them up from their dreams. Dong Zhengyang and the others immediately heaved a sigh of relief. Qin Feiyang continued, "But we can't be careless. If it catches up, even if we work together to kill it, we will still suffer heavy casualties." The few of them nodded. This was indeed the truth. Because there was still a female crocodile. Once that female crocodile recovered, it would definitely come to kill them. And don't forget, there was still a black dragon snake that was difficult to deal with. Qin Feiyang said, "Fatso, take me away." "Where are we going?" Fatso asked. Qin Feiyang said, "Straight ahead." Fatso immediately waved his hand, rolled up Qin Feiyang, turned around, and rushed forward. Dong Zhengyang and the others quickly followed. The fierce crocodile roared, "You damned humans, how dare you hurt this emperor's wife? Today, even if I have to go to heaven or hell, this emperor will kill all of you." Fatso chuckled. "If you have the ability, then catch up. You still dare to be so arrogant? Just you wait, this emperor will be the first to swallow you alive." The fierce crocodile roared again and again as it chased after them. "TSK." Fatso raised his middle finger in disdain, and then sent a sound transmission to Qin Feiyang. "Boss, this dragon crocodile has a dragon's head, and its name also has the word dragon. Can it also transform into a real dragon in the future?" Qin Feiyang's face twitched and said speechlessly, "Do you think dragons are radishes and cabbages that can be found everywhere?" Fatso laughed embarrassedly. "Next." He then said regretfully, "It's a pity about that black dragon snake. If I could give Fat Lord a little more time, I would definitely be able to tame it. If you had used your full strength earlier, you would have definitely tamed it by now. It's all your fault for showing off. Qin Feiyong rolled his eyes. Fatso laughed dryly. Suddenly, Qin Feiyong frowned and asked suspiciously, "Why are you so slow?" "This is still slow?" Fatso was stunned. "After transforming, your cultivation and defense have increased to the level of a 5-star War Master. But your current speed seems to only be comparable to a 4-star War Master?" Qin Feiyong said. "So that's what you're talking about." Fatso suddenly realized, and then sighed. Dragon transformation art can only increase fighting strength and defense, it can't increase speed. So it's like that. But it's not bad, don't be unsatisfied. "Oh right, what is Lu Hong's battle art?" Qin Feiyong asked in a low voice. Fatso sent a sound transmission. "I don't know either, it should be very awesome." Qin Feiyong shook his head and laughed. "It's impossible for a perfect battle art not to be awesome." Time quietly passed. Roar! The fierce crocodile that was unable to catch up to Qin Feiyong and the others roared in anger. About 500 to 600 breaths passed. The group crossed a mountain ridge and finally arrived at the end of the island. In front of them was still an endless swamp. However, when they arrived here, there was not the slightest bit of joy on their faces. Everyone's hearts sank to the bottom. This was because the 13 crocodile kings had already brought countless crocodile groups to the front. Wherever they went, the footholds were constantly destroyed and swallowed up by the swamp. At this moment, there were only 3 footholds left closest to them. "Quick!" Murong Xiong shouted. He immediately turned around and entered the forest, looking for a big tree to build a bridge. "Stop looking, it's too late." Qin Feiyong shook his head. As soon as he finished speaking, under the lead of the 13 crocodile kings, the group of crocodiles swarmed forward, and the 3 closest footholds were all turned into nothingness. Chapter 6:14. The road ahead was cut off, there were crocodiles blocking the way, and there was a crocodile emperor chasing after them. At this moment, the situation of Qin Feiyong and the others could be said to be hopeless. Murong Xiong roared, "Qin Feiyong, aren't you usually very smart? Quickly think of what to do." Qin Feiyong said in a deep voice, "Right now, we only have one path, and that is to fight to the death with the crocodile emperor." Everyone fell silent. This was indeed the only way, but the crocodile emperor was a 3-star war sect. If they were not careful, they would lose their lives. Moreover, they were not in a good state right now. If they really fought, they would be the ones to suffer. Boom! At this moment, there was a deafening explosion behind them. The crocodile emperor actually smashed a hole in the mountain ridge and appeared in their line of sight. "Continue to run. This emperor wants to see where you can run to." Seeing Qin Feiyong and the others, the crocodile emperor suddenly sneered, its eyes flashing fiercely. Qin Feiyong shouted, "Fatso, you go and deal with it. The others heal first." Murong Xiong and Dongfang Wuhan breathed a sigh of relief. They were afraid that Qin Feiyong had ulterior motives and let the 2 of them take the lead. "Me." Fatso pointed at his nose and looked at Qin Feiyong in disbelief. He felt wronged and said, "Boss, you let Fat Lord deal with it. Aren't you letting Fat Lord die?" "Junior brother Fatty, stop pretending. With your strength, even if you can't kill it, it's more than enough to restrain it." Dongfang Wuhan laughed. "Stop flattering me. Although Fat Lord admits that he is a little stronger than you, Fat Lord still has self-awareness. In any case, if you let Fat Lord go alone, Fat Lord will not go even if you beat him to death. At worst, we will all die together." Fatso shook his head and said decisively. Dong Zhengyang said, "You mean, as long as there is someone to help you, you are willing to go?" "That's right." Fatso nodded. The crocodile emperor sneered, "Cut the crap. All of you attack together." "Shut up, who allowed you to speak?" Fatso scowled and his attitude was very arrogant. "Fatso, I will kill you first." The vicious crocodile was furious. Its huge tail swept out, and the area was suddenly filled with violent winds. Sand and stones flew everywhere. "Damn, can't you say something before you attack?" Fatso's expression changed as he used the primordial convergence step and slipped away without looking back. Qin Feiyong and the others hurriedly dodged. The crocodile emperor became even angrier as its giant tail swept through the air. Fatso was obviously toying with it. Its enormous body trembled, and a terrifying aura enveloped the group of people like it was about to topple mountains and overturn the seas. Immediately, the few of them felt as if they had fallen into an icy valley, their bodies and minds turning cold. "Boss, let's go to the castle." Fatso's pupils contracted as he roared in horror. Dongfang Wuhan frowned. "Junior brother Fatty, this is a good opportunity to prove your ability. How can you retreat?" Fatso said angrily. "Prove your sister. If you have the ability, then go. If you really go, Fat Lord will also rush up immediately." Dongfang Wuhan raised his eyebrows and sighed. "If I wasn't injured, I would definitely be the first to go. I wouldn't be begging you now." "So awesome?" Fatso was stunned, and said with a sneaky smile, "Boss, give him a top-grade healing pill. Fat Lord would like to see if he has the guts." Dongfang Wuhan's face suddenly changed, turning ashen. Qin Feiyong's forehead immediately had a row of black lines. This damn Fatso was really unreliable. But suddenly, his eyes became strange. Why did it seem like Fatso was deliberately targeting Dongfang Wuhan? "What time is it now? You still have the mood to quarrel?" At this time, Dong Zhengyang shouted impatiently. He looked at Fatso and said, "If someone is accompanying you, then I will accompany you." Fatso pursed his lips and said, "I'm not interested." If it were Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong accompanying Fat Lord would consider it. Hearing this, Dong Zhengyang, Shenlong, and Jiang Wei's eyes also became very strange. But Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong were mad with anger, cursing Fatso's 18 generations of ancestors in their hearts. Qin Feiyong was helpless. It turned out that Fatso's goal was really these two people. He turned to look at Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong and said with a smile, "Since Fatso likes you so much, then please go with him to fight the Crocodile Emperor. Who wants him to like us?" Hearing this, the two almost vomited blood in anger. Fatso glanced at the two disdainfully and said, "If you don't have the guts, just say it. Fat Lord won't force you." Dongfang Wuhan raised his eyebrows and said, "Okay, I'll accompany you." His words were a bit cold. Murong Xiong was shocked and said, "Are you crazy? He's already put it this way. If we still cower, what dignity do we have left?" Dongfang Wuhan snorted. Murong Xiong clenched his hands and glanced coldly at Fatso. He turned to stare at the Crocodile Emperor and shouted, "Beast, come on. An ant-like character dares to clamor at me?" The Crocodile Emperor disdainfully raised its giant tail and quickly attacked Murong Xiong. "Help!" Dongfang Wuhan shouted coldly at Fatso and quickly rushed up. "Hee hee." Fatty let out a sinister laugh and slowly walked over. Seeing this, Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong were so angry that their noses were crooked. They roared at the same time. "Can you hurry up?" Fatso laughed and said, "What's the hurry? Aren't you coming?" But it was still the same. He walked slowly and was not in a hurry at all. The giant tail came crashing down. It was too late for Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong to withdraw. They could only resist. Bull Strike. Sun-breaking arrow. The two quickly performed their battle arts and with a boom, they hit the giant tail. However, the result was that the two battle arts did not cause any damage to the giant tail and disintegrated. The giant tail did not stop at all and attacked the two. Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong's faces suddenly showed despair and resentment. But at this time, Fatso, who was walking slowly, suddenly accelerated and stood in front of the two. At this time, he was still in his transformed state. His dragon claws burst out and his battle chi surged as he punched the giant tail. Boom! The strength of the giant tail was very strong. It was like a towering mountain pressing down. Fatso's legs sank deep into the soil and his face flushed red. But at the same time, the gigantic tail was also sent flying by the fatty's punch, and a cracking sound could be heard. At the place where the tail was struck, a crack had appeared on the scales. However, although Fatso arrived in time and the giant tail did not directly hit Dongfang Wuhan and Murong Xiong, the two were still not spared. They were blown away by the shockwaves created by the confrontation between Fatso and the Crocodile Emperor. They rolled on the ground in a sorry state and blood kept coming out of their mouths. Their injuries were even worse. The two hated Fatso to the extreme. Moreover, he felt a great sense of humiliation. The two of them joined forces and did not cause any damage. But Fatso alone broke the crocodile's defense. It was like a slap to their faces. Fatso joked, "If it wasn't for Fat Lord's timely intervention, you would have been bleeding. Shouldn't you thank me, your savior?" The two gritted their teeth and smoke came out of their heads. If it wasn't for Fatso's mischief, would they have come to fight with the Crocodile Emperor? If they didn't fight with the Crocodile Emperor, would they have been saved by Fatso? Now they actually came to play the good guy. What a bastard, shameless, despicable. Not far away, Dong Zhengyang and the other two's faces were twitching non-stop. Dong Zhengyang suddenly turned to Qin Feiyang and asked, "How can you stand him?" Qin Feiyang said helplessly, "Get used to it." Shen Long smiled bitterly. "I think it's best to just ignore it." "Makes sense." Jiang Wei nodded. If they were to take this Fatso seriously, they would definitely be angered to death. Roar! Suddenly, an angry beast roar resounded and the surrounding mountains and rivers shook at this moment. Qin Feiyang looked over and saw the Crocodile Emperor roaring again and again. Its four limbs were constantly bombarding the ground and its entire body was emitting an extremely terrifying aura. Obviously, Fatso's previous punch had made it completely irritable. Qin Feiyang shouted, "Fatso, stop messing around and be serious." Fat Lord has always been serious. Fatso turned to Qin Feiyang and grinned. He looked at Dongfang Wuhan and Dong Xingyang and said, "You two go first, I'll bring up the rear." Chapter 6:15. Dong Zhengyang noticed Qin Feiyang's abnormality and asked, "What's wrong?" Qin Feiyang said, "If the 13 crocodile kings come, can you stop them in your current state?" Hearing this, their faces changed. They actually ignored the 13 crocodile kings. Dong Zhengyang pondered for a moment and said, "We can stop them, but I'm afraid that the female crocodile and the black dragon snake will come." Shen Long said in a deep voice, "The black dragon snake has no dragon scales, so it's not a problem. The key is the female crocodile." "Wrong." Qin Feiyang said. "What's wrong?" Shen Long was puzzled. Qin Feiyang said, "The black dragon snake's dragon scales can be regenerated in half an hour. With its character, I'm sure it will come to us again." Half an hour. Shen Long was shocked. Half an hour seemed to be a long time, but in this situation, it was very short. After pondering for a while, Qin Feiyang said, "Since we can't leave the island for the time being, I'll go and subdue the black dragon snake first, so as not to cause any more trouble." Dong Zhengyang and the others nodded. The black dragon snake was indeed a hidden danger that needed to be removed first. Qin Feiyang said again, "By the way, investigate another question." "What other questions?" The others were surprised. Qin Feiyang said, "Why was this crocodile king hiding in the hill before?" Murong Xiong nodded and said, "This question is too strange. We really need to investigate it, but it's too dangerous for you to go alone. Why don't you let me and Dongfang Wuhan go with you?" At the same time, a murderous intent appeared in the depths of his eyes. "So kind." Qin Feiyang was surprised. He cupped his hands and smiled. "Thank you for your concern, senior brother Murong, but we need you more here." Murong Xiong's face stiffened and nodded. "Well, be careful." Qin Feiyang smiled and took out a dozen healing pills and bone-replenishing pills, all of which had 4 veins. He gave them to Dong Zhengyang and said, "If there's any danger, just shout. I'll come as soon as possible." "You too," Dong Zhengyang said as he took the pill. Qin Feiyang nodded and glanced at Fatso. Then, he turned around and walked around the battlefield, turning back. With Fatso in charge, there shouldn't be a problem. Several hundred breaths passed. Qin Feiyang returned to the vicinity of the short mountain. He hid in a ditch and looked towards the short mountain. However, within his line of sight, there was no trace of the female crocodile, nor was there any black dragon snake. Strange. Qin Feiyang frowned. Suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. When the female crocodile was fighting with Dong Zhengyang and the others, she was heavily injured. She must have shed a lot of blood on her way out. Furthermore, it was impossible to fly here, so there would definitely be footprints on the ground. As long as he could find the footprints, he would be able to find the whereabouts of the mother crocodile. He stood up and looked around. To his left, he found a huge footprint. There were also traces of blood on the footprints. Whoosh! Immediately, Qin Feiyong used the phantom steps and silently chased along the footprints. He chased for about 500 or 600 meters. He suddenly stopped and looked at the ground in front of him. His brows furrowed. The footprints in front of him were gone? Moreover, the bushes and weeds along the way were broken, forming a huge horizontal ditch. It looked extremely messy. Qin Feiyong bent down and picked up a bush. He found that the broken part was as flat as a mirror, as if it was cut by a knife. This situation was obviously unreasonable, because the dragon crocodile walked on all fours. At most, it could only overwhelm the bushes and weeds. It was impossible to cut them off. What's going on? For a moment, Qin Feiyong was puzzled. Suddenly, a beast shadow appeared in his mind. Black dragon snake. Thinking of this, he glanced at the horizontal ditch in front of him. The width of the ditch was almost the same as the size of the black dragon snake. It seems that it really is it. Qin Feiyong muttered. These bushes and weeds should have been cut off by the scales of the black dragon snake. He turned his head to look at the jungle on the side. There was also a horizontal ditch in the jungle, which was connected to the ditch in front of him. Obviously. Initially, the black dragon snake was lurking in the jungle next to it. When it saw the crocodile emperor coming, it followed it all the way. It was just that he couldn't figure out why the black dragon snake would do this. But this was also good. He was worried about where to find the black dragon snake. Now, as long as he followed this path, he would definitely find it. It also saved me a lot of time. Qin Feiyong whispered softly and galloped down the ditch. A moment later, a valley came into his sight. Qin Feiyong climbed up a small hill and could clearly see huge footprints leading straight to the valley. Without a doubt, it must be a female crocodile. At the same time, there was a horizontal ditch leading to the right side of the valley. Obviously, the horizontal ditch was left by the black dragon snake. In other words, it didn't follow the valley but went to the right side. Qin Feiyong's eyes flashed. Suddenly, he jumped down the hill and swept along the ditch. Soon, he came to the foot of the mountain on the right side of the valley, and the ditch went straight to the top of the mountain. This guy shouldn't be planning something, right? Qin Feiyong frowned and also climbed to the top of the mountain. Like an ape, his speed was extremely fast. The mountain peak was more than 100 feet high. 10 breaths. Qin Feiyong climbed to the top of the mountain and immediately saw the black dragon snake. He saw it lying in the grass in front of him. Its aura was completely restrained. It stuck its head out and focused on the bottom of the valley. Qin Feiyong quietly walked over. 10 meters. 5 meters. Suddenly, the black dragon snake turned its head and looked at Qin Feiyong. There was a hint of surprise in its eyes. At the same time, there was a trace of anger. Qin Feiyong chuckled and said, "I wanted to give you a surprise, but I didn't expect you to find out." Surprise. The black dragon snake snorted and said, "Didn't you leave? Why did you come back?" Qin Feiyong laughed. "I haven't subdued you yet, how could I bear to leave?" The black dragon snake disdainfully said, "You should give up on this idea as soon as possible. What kind of existence is this emperor? You are just a little ant, and you think you are worthy of this emperor following you? Is that so?" Qin Feiyong pursed his lips and smiled, and said, "Let's not talk about this for now. What are you peeking at?" "Nothing." The black dragon snake shook its head and secretly shouted, "If you don't want to die, then hurry up and scram." "Is it really nothing?" Qin Feiyong looked at it playfully. "I say, human, why do you need a beating?" The black dragon snake was extremely angry, and its eyes flashed with a fierce light. "It's a pity that you don't dare to beat me up now." Qin Feiyong chuckled as he strode towards the edge. A trace of panic appeared in the black dragon snake's eyes, and it anxiously shouted in the dark, "Lower your voice, don't be discovered." "What is it?" Qin Feiyong stopped and asked curiously. "Could it be that there's some unspeakable secret hidden below?" "Bastard, this emperor will cripple you sooner or later." The black dragon snake stared at him with an extremely sharp gaze. "I'll wait." Qin Feiyong smiled faintly, walked quietly to the edge, and looked down. At this moment, Qin Feiyong's eyes trembled, filled with disbelief. The female crocodile was lying on the grass in the middle of the valley with its eyes closed, revealing a look of enjoyment. Just above the female crocodile, there was a cluster of palm-sized flames floating. The flames were dark green, and strands of green brilliance fell, covering the female crocodile's body. Under the nourishment of the green brilliance, the injuries on the female crocodile's body were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. The black dragon snake looked at Qin Feiyong's expression and immediately said fiercely, "Let me tell you, that thing is this emperor's, don't even think about touching it." "Do you know what that is?" Qin Feiyong asked without turning his head. "I don't know. But this emperor is sure that it is definitely a treasure. I might as well tell you, this emperor has been eyeing this thing for a long time, but I couldn't find the opportunity." The black dragon snake transmitted. Qin Feiyong's eyes lit up and said, "You guessed right, that is indeed a treasure. Even the shattered sea of qi and sea of consciousness can be repaired." "What?" The black dragon snake's body trembled, and its long and narrow eyes emitted a bright light. "That was desire and greed." "That's right. The flame above the female crocodile was the fire of life. According to legend, as long as 9 fires of life were gathered, the fires of life would fuse and transform into a flower of life. The flower of life had endless vitality. It was said that as long as one obtained the flower of life, they would be immortal and indestructible. Qin Feiyong never thought that he would actually encounter a cluster of fire of life here. Qin Feiyong turned to look at the black dragon snake and asked, "Are you very familiar with them?" The black dragon snake rolled its eyes and said, "Nonsense, this emperor has lived with them on this island for hundreds of years. How can I not be familiar with them?" Qin Feiyong asked suspiciously, "Then why didn't you know that the crocodile emperor was hiding in that hill?" "That old fox knew that I was eyeing that flame, so he often hid and schemed against me. But who am I? Why would I fall into his trap?" The black dragon snake smiled disdainfully. Qin Feiyong laughed. "Then why don't you go and snatch it now? Isn't it because of you? If you didn't destroy this emperor's reverse scale, this emperor would have already snatched it, and you wouldn't have a chance to join in the fun." The black dragon snake said angrily, "Do you think you are a divine dragon? Reverse scale?" Qin Feiyong rolled his eyes and teased, "You became so timid after losing your dragon scale, it seems that you are not that great after all." "Fuck. Are you out of your mind? Although it is seriously injured, it is still a 2-star combat ancestor. Moreover, this emperor's injury is not any lighter than it. Look at it yourself, the dragon tail that you destroyed has not even recovered. How can I fight it?" "If you have the ability, then go ahead." The black dragon snake roared, of course, using telepathy. Qin Feiyong glanced at the black dragon snake's tail and suddenly couldn't help but laugh silently. The black dragon snake flew into a rage out of humiliation and roared, "Damn it, why don't you try laughing again? At worst, this emperor doesn't want that flame, and I will join forces with it to kill you." Okay, I won't laugh." Qin Feiyong quickly waved his hand, trying to hold back his laughter, and said, "Listening to what you said, you want to cooperate with me." The black dragon snake was stunned, and sneered, "You think too much, this emperor will cooperate with you? Are you worthy?" Qin Feiyong said, "I don't know if I am worthy, but I know that if this drags on, its injury will recover, and by then, we won't have a chance even if we join forces." The black dragon snake's pupils shrank. "I know what you are hesitating about. You are just afraid that I will take the opportunity to plot against you. Actually, I am also afraid. So for your sake, I am relieved. Why don't we make an agreement?" Qin Feiyong laughed. "What agreement?" The black dragon snake looked at him suspiciously. Qin Feiyong said, "I will help you get that flame, but as a condition, you have to follow me for 10 years. "Impossible." The black dragon snake refused without hesitation. The anger in its heart had reached the point where it could not be controlled. Actually taking advantage of people's difficulties. This damn human is really despicable. Qin Feiyong laughed. "If you don't agree, I will do as you said and join forces with the female crocodile to kill you. At that time, maybe I can even become friends with her." "You bastard." The black dragon snake was burning with anger. If it weren't for the female crocodile below, it would have already fought. Actually, 10 years is not that long. And I swear in the name of my father, once 10 years are up, I will not stop you if you want to leave. And in these 10 years, you are not a servant, I am not a master, we are friends. In addition, I will give you a lot of things you want, such as the transformation pill, the barrier-breaking pill. Qin Feiyang laughed. Hearing this, the black dragon snake was a little moved, but it couldn't make a decision. In addition, I can also take you out of the 9 nether yellow springs and go to the outside world. Qin Feiyang struck while the iron was hot and continued to tempt. The outside world, the black dragon snake muttered to itself, and there was a kind of nostalgia in its eyes. If one observed carefully, one would find that there was a trace of resentment. Qin Feiyang urged, if you don't decide, the female crocodile's injuries will really be healed. The black dragon snake looked down at the female crocodile. Sure enough, the wounds on the female crocodile's body had already scabbed. It also began to be anxious, looked at Qin Feiyang and asked, are you sure you are not lying to this emperor? Qin Feiyang nodded. Good. This emperor promises you. Behind it, a black light suddenly emerged. In the black light, there was a palm-sized object that looked like a piece of iron and also like a scale armor. It emitted a bloody, dark, and eerie aura. The black dragon snake was shocked. Not good, this is its war soul. It's very scary. Qin Feiyang was surprised. Even the black dragon snake was so afraid. Could it be that the war soul had some terrifying innate ability? Without any hesitation, he quickly retreated. But the black dragon snake didn't retreat. Because the female crocodile would never let it go after snatching away the fire of life. Only by killing it could it eliminate future troubles forever. Roar! It also decisively activated its war soul. Accompanied by a deafening dragon roar, a black dragon soared into the sky. Next, the two war souls rushed towards each other at the same time. Their aura was overwhelming and shook the mountains and rivers. Boom! In an instant, the two war souls collided and immediately gave birth to a destructive airwave that rolled in all directions. Wherever it passed, the mountains collapsed, the earth cracked, and dust covered the sky. At the same time, heaven and earth were filled with a tragic aura. Qin Feiyang also retreated again and again, his pupils constricting. These legendary ferocious beasts were indeed incomparably ferocious. The reason why it was a legend was because whether it was the black dragon snake or the dragon crocodile, they were all creatures from 10,000 years ago. Of course, it was not that they did not exist in this era, but they were extremely rare. Roar! Roar! Without waiting for the dust to dissipate, two roars sounded at the same time. Boom! Then, there was a deafening collision sound in the dust. An even stronger wave of battle rippled out in all directions like a torrent, crushing everything in its path. Next, this place fell silent. What's the result? Qin Feiyang had a trace of worry. With a wave of his hand, the wind whistled and rolled up the dust in the sky. His face suddenly changed. Because at this moment, the black dragon snake and the female crocodile were lying on the broken ground. Both were covered in wounds and bleeding non-stop. Qin Feiyang quickly ran over and checked the black dragon snake situation. Fortunately, it was only seriously injured and its life was not in danger for the time being. But if it was not treated in time, it would be hard to say. He took out a few healing pills with 4 pill veins and put them into the black dragon snake's mouth. Then, he got up and walked to the side of the female crocodile. When he found that the female crocodile was dead, he could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. Then he returned to the black dragon snake's side and said with a smile, "Amazing, you even killed it. If it wasn't for its injuries being more serious than mine, it would be hard to say who killed who," the black dragon snake said weakly. But when it saw the fire of life in Qin Feiyang's hand, it suddenly became spirited. It turned over, raised its head and hurriedly said, "Quickly give the flame to me. I won't snatch it from you." Qin Feiyang smiled faintly and threw the fire of life to the black dragon snake without hesitation. "You're really giving it to me?" The black dragon snake was stunned. It thought that Qin Feiyang might take the opportunity to threaten it and make it sign some unequal contract, but it did not expect him to be so straightforward. Roar! Suddenly, a furious roar rang out from the other side of the island. There was even a hint of grief in that roar. Not good. Qin Feiyang's heart trembled. He looked up at the other side of the island, his eyes full of worry. It must be the Crocodile Emperor. It sensed the death of the female crocodile and was probably going crazy now. No, I have to hurry over and help. Muttering to himself, Qin Feiyong withdrew his gaze and looked at the black dragon snake who was staring at the fire of life. He said in a deep voice, "Don't look, follow me to support them." "It's useless." The black dragon snake shook its head. "What do you mean?" Qin Feiyong frowned. "Fatso beside you is indeed strong, but that old fox is stronger than him. Did you see the female crocodile's battle soul? That old fox's battle soul is exactly the same as hers. And the power of this battle soul is almost comparable to my reverse scale. By the time you rush over, Fatso and the others will be dead. So, think of a way to escape." The black dragon snake sneered. "Comparable to my reverse scale." Qin Feiyong's body and mind trembled, and the worry in his eyes grew stronger. At this time, Fatso's anxious cry for help came from afar. "Boss, Fat Lord can't hold on any longer. Come and save me. Did you hear that? You're simply courting death if you run over now." The black dragon snake said. "Although I, Qin Feiyong, am not a good person, I will never abandon my companions and escape alone. Don't talk nonsense, quickly follow me." After Qin Feiyong finished speaking, he used phantom steps and sped towards the other side of the island. At the same time, he used all his strength and roared, "Fatso, quickly retreat towards me." The black dragon snake looked at Qin Feiyong's resolute back and couldn't help but be a little lost in thought. Its eyes were also rather complicated. But then, a trace of ridicule appeared in its eyes as it shook its head and muttered, "If you want to live longer, you have to learn to be selfish. If you don't even have this awareness, what a foolish human. Your name is Qin Feiyong, right? Since you helped me snatch the flame, I will let bygones be bygones, but don't let me meet you again in the future." The black dragon snake sneered and turned to leave quickly. Qin Feiyong raised his eyebrows and turned his head to look at the black dragon snake's actions. His face suddenly turned cold as he said gloomily, "I thought that my sincerity could be exchanged for your sincerity, but it seems that I'm still too naive." Sincerity? What a ridiculous word. Let me tell you, ever since that incident happened, I will never believe you humans again. Humans are all hypocritical villains. They all deserve to die. The black dragon snake sneered, its eyes filled with deep resentment. Then, without looking back, it disappeared from Qin Feiyong's sight. That incident? Qin Feiyong was originally very angry, but after hearing these words, he couldn't help but frown. What did that mean? Chapter 6:17. But whether or not there was a hidden reason, the grudge was formed. There's still a long time. Let's wait and see. Qin Feiyong's eyes flashed coldly. He turned around and continued to rush to the other side of the island. Boom! Crack! The loud sound of the battle came from afar, making him wish he could grow a bunch of wings. Time passed in the blink of an eye. After more than 200 breaths, Qin Feiyong could already feel the strong fluctuations of the battle. He climbed to the top of a mountain more than 100 feet high and stood on the edge, overlooking the front. He immediately saw Dong Zhengyang and the others frantically fleeing this way. Everyone's face was full of panic, and their bodies were full of scars. Shen Long and Jiang Wei both lost their hands. Dong Zhengyang lost a leg. Murong Xiong and Dong Feng Wuhan each lost an arm. They were disheveled and extremely embarrassed. Behind them, Fatso and Crocodile Emperor were fighting fiercely. Fatso's injuries were more serious than Murong Xiong and the others. Not only did he lose his left hand, but even the skin on his body was cracked. And on his right shoulder, there was a bloody hole the size of a baby's fist. It penetrated from the front to the back and was bleeding non-stop. At this moment, his body was bleeding, and his hair was bleeding. He was covered in blood from head to toe. He looked like a bloody man. Crocodile Emperor's injuries were also very serious. The scales all over its body were broken. The giant tail was also gone. And one of its eyes was blown out. The eye socket was badly mutilated and blood was splattering everywhere. It could be said that this was a situation where both sides suffered. But it was full of hostility, as if it didn't know pain. It was even more manic than before. Fatso was being suppressed at this moment. "I'm here!" Qin Feiyong shouted coldly with a gloomy face. He jumped down from the top of the mountain and rushed toward the crowd. Seeing Qin Feiyang's arrival, Fatso and the others were also ecstatic. In less than 10 breaths, Qin Feiyang met up with Dong Zhengyang and the others. Dong Zhengyang was about to say something. Qin Feiyang reached out to stop him and said, "Don't say anything. Go to the castle to heal first." After saying that, he waved his hand and sent them into the castle. Then, Qin Feiyang rushed to support Fatso. Crocodile Emperor roared, "Damn human, did you kill my wife?" "I didn't kill him. It was the black dragon snake. If you want to find someone, you should find it." "Fatso, retreat." Qin Feiyang snorted through his nose and decisively activated the battle character formula. Soon after, he slammed his palm into the air. Seeing this, Fatso threw Crocodile Emperor's fist and dodged to the side. At the same time, Crocodile Emperor Crocodile really died. Hearing this bad news, the Crocodile Emperor's gaze froze. The hope in her eyes disappeared. It was replaced by depression and sadness. She didn't feel any pulse on Fatso's wrist. "He's really dead." She had to accept it, although it was cruel. But suddenly, her arm trembled. Her beautiful eyes suddenly burst out with a bright light. No, there was a pulse. It was just very weak. It was difficult to feel. "What's wrong?" Qin Feiyang looked at her in surprise. Lu Hong was silent. She carefully sensed again. Suddenly, she felt Fatso's pulse beating. It was very weak. She hurriedly said, "Fatso still has a pulse. Quickly give him a heart protection pill. Maybe he will remember." Qin Feiyang's body and mind shook. He hurriedly laid Fatso flat on the ground. Then, he looked at Wu Yan and the others in front of him and shouted, "Get lost!" Wu Yan and the others did not dare to hesitate and quickly retreated to the side. Qin Feiyang stepped in front of the altar. He opened the iron box and directly took out the fire of life. He quickly turned around and stepped beside Fatso. He placed the fire of life on Fatso's heart. The majestic life energy suddenly rushed into Fatso's body. Because he had not refined the heart protection pill yet. And refining it required time. But at this moment, it was a race against time. Naturally, it was impossible to refine it. Moreover, the healing effect of the fire of life was far beyond that of the heart protection pill. Therefore, he directly used the fire of life. Although by doing so, the fire of life would be exposed in front of Dongfang Wuhan and the others, he could not care so much now. "What is it?" Sure enough, as soon as they saw the fire of life, Dongfang Wuhan and the others were surprised. But there was one person who looked at the fire of life with a strange look in his eyes. This person was Lu Xingchen. However, Qin Feiyang did not notice Lu Xingchen's strange look. Because at this moment, his eyes were only focused on Fatso's safety. Ren Wushuang walked to Qin Feiyang's side and whispered, "Can this flame really save him? One must know. If the heart was broken, even the heart protection pill might not be able to repair it. Because the effect of the heart protection pill was limited. For example, if there was a crack in the heart, it could be repaired very easily. But if it was completely broken, it would depend on the person's luck." But now, Qin Feiyang did not take out the heart protection pill. Instead, he took out a flame that had never been seen before. It was really confusing. "I don't know." Qin Feiyang shook his head. Chapter 6:18. Seeing Qin Feiyang shake his head, Ren Wushuang asked, "Don't you have any heart-protecting fruit?" She thought that Qin Feiyang couldn't refine the heart-protecting pill because he didn't have any heart-protecting fruit. So he took a step back and used this flame. In fact, she didn't know that the effect of the fire of life was many times stronger than the heart-protecting pill. But Qin Feiyang didn't answer. He was really not in the mood to discuss these meaningless topics with Ren Wushuang. His mind sank into Fatso's body, paying close attention to the situation of Fatso's heart. But Ren Wushuang thought that Qin Feiyang acquiesced. She looked at the crowd around and said, "Whoever has a heart-protecting fruit, please take the initiative to take it out and save Fatso's life." Everyone shook their heads. Dong Zhengyang sighed. "Fatso fought with the Crocodile Emperor to help us escape. If there was a heart-protecting fruit, I would have taken it out in the first place. Yes, with Fatso's strength and speed, it's easy for him to escape. He did it to save us. But the heart-protecting fruit is too rare. Not to mention us, I'm afraid even the treasure pavilion may not have it. Shenlong said. I don't have it either. Dongfeng Wuhan shook his head. Ran Wushuang's heart sank to the bottom in an instant. At this time, Lu Hong said angrily, Can you be quiet? Everyone suddenly fell silent. Time passed breath by breath. Qin Feiyang had been observing Fatso's heart. The energy of the fire of life was also constantly pouring into the heart, but it didn't get better. It was still torn apart. At first, Qin Feiyang still had a glimmer of hope, maybe because there wasn't enough time. After all, the heart was broken like this, and it would take a long time to recover. But after 500 or 600 breaths, seeing that the heart still didn't get better, he couldn't help but be worried. Even the fire of life was useless? Lu Hong clenched her hands, looked up at Qin Feiyang, and said, Try the heart-protecting pill again. Qin Feiyang nodded. As long as Fatso was still breathing, he would not give up. He turned around and walked towards the altar. The crowd in front of him consciously retreated to the side. Walking to the front of the altar, Qin Feiyang opened the iron box again and took out the pill scripture to carefully read the refining method of the heart protection pill. Everyone was curious. They craned their necks, wanting to know what Qin Feiyang was looking at. All of you, turn around. But before they could see clearly, Qin Feiyang shouted without turning his head. Immediately, everyone's pupils shrank as they quickly averted their gazes and looked elsewhere. However, the curiosity in their eyes grew even stronger. People were like that. The more they couldn't see something, the more they wanted to see it. The more they couldn't get something, the more they wanted to get it. 10 breaths. Qin Feiyang had memorized the refining method of the heart protection pill by heart. Next, he closed the pill scripture and put it into the Chenkuan bag inside the iron box. He then took out the pill furnace, the netherworld devil flame, and the medicinal ingredients, placing them one by one on the altar. Seeing that bright red heart protection fruit, everyone suddenly felt extremely incredulous. Heart protection fruit. What kind of joke was this? He also had such a rare treasure? This stinking brat. Ran Wushuang also had a helpless look on her face. After all this time, it turned out that she was just worrying for nothing. But then, they thought of a problem. Since Qin Feiyang had the heart protection fruit, why didn't he take it out to refine the heart protection pill? Could it be that the ability of the flame was better than the heart protection pill? Bas. After calming down for a moment, Qin Feiyang finally revived the netherworld devil flame and began to refine the heart protection pill. Back then in the Spirit Cloud Mountain, he only obtained 3 heart protection fruits. And the temperature of refining the heart protection pill was extremely harsh. Moreover, this was also the first time Qin Feiyang was refining the heart protection pill, so he did not dare to be careless. At the same time, Dong Zhangyang said to everyone, If anyone dares to make a sound and disturb Qin Feiyang, don't blame me for being ruthless. The castle immediately fell into a dead silence. Murong Xiong looked at Qin Feiyang's back as a cold light flashed in his eyes. He secretly asked, Dongfeng Wuhan, is there a heart protection pill formula in the inner hall? Dongfeng Wuhan said no. As the former #1 alchemist in the inner hall, it could be said that he knew the existing pill formulas in the inner hall like the back of his hand. But he had never seen the heart protection pill formula. He was also very curious. How did Qin Feiyang know the method to refine the heart protection pill? Could it be related to that iron book? Crash! 100 breaths passed. A resplendent light suddenly rushed out from the pill furnace. At the same time, there was a strong medicinal fragrance that pervaded every corner of the castle. Whoosh! Soon, a pill the size of a pellet flew out of the pill furnace. Qin Feiyang's eyes flashed as he grabbed it in his palm. Then, he put away the pill and the netherworld devil flame, walked to Fatso's side, and handed the pill to Lu Hong. The pill was completely blood-red, as if it had been soaked in blood, without the slightest flaw. On the surface, there were 4 dazzling pill veins surrounding it. A heart protection pill with 4 pill veins. Everyone looked at the heart protection pill with green light in their eyes. If this was taken to an auction, it would definitely be sold for an astonishing number, but no one dared to snatch it. They could only watch as Lu Hong put the heart protection pill into Fatso's mouth. Qin Feiyang also immediately sank his mind into Fatso's body. When the heart protection pill entered Fatso's mouth, it turned into a blood-red energy and directly rushed towards Fatso's heart. This energy was very large, and it surrounded the heart. The heart was also crazily absorbing this energy. However, as time passed, the energy became less and less, but Fatso's heart was still torn apart. How could this be? Qin Feiyang muttered to himself, his body faintly trembling. The fire of life could not be repaired, and the heart protection pill could not be repaired. What exactly was needed to save Fatso's life? Lu Hong quietly wiped the tears from the corner of her eyes, and said, Qin Feiyang, we have tried our best, now it's up to the heavens. Up to the heavens, Qin Feiyang muttered. Suddenly, his eyes became incomparably simple, and he said, I, Qin Feiyang, have always believed that fate is in my own hands. As soon as he finished, he grabbed the fire of life and stuffed it into Fatso's mouth without hesitation. Will this work? Lu Hong asked. Her eyes were dim and lifeless. She no longer held any hope. Qin Feiyang said, whether it works or not, how do you know if you don't try? As he spoke, he once again sank his mind into Fatso's body, and a trace of surprise crawled up his face. Seeing the sudden surprise on Qin Feiyang's face, Lu Hong was slightly stunned. Could it be effective? She also quickly sank her mind into Fatso's body. Seeing this, Dong Zhengyang and the others looked at each other, and then also sank their minds into Fatso's body. The fire of life shuttled back and forth in Fatso's body at an extremely fast speed. Wherever it passed, all the injuries, all the hidden injuries, were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. In less than 10 breaths. Other than his heart that had been torn to pieces, the rest of his injuries had already been healed. However, the fire of life did not go to the heart. Is it still not working? Qin Feiyang's heart sank again, and his forehead was already covered in sweat. This was caused by nervousness. Sigh. Lu Hong sighed deeply. Even if the other places were repaired, what was the use? The key was the heart. Lu Hong's face revealed a trace of sadness, and she withdrew her mind. But just before she withdrew her mind, the fire of life finally rushed towards Fatso's heart. At this moment, Lu Hong's eyes lit up, and the flame of hope was burning in her heart again. Qin Feiyang was the same. Under their attention, the fire of life swept straight to the position of the heart, and suspended above the heart. Suddenly, a shocking scene happened. They saw that the fire of life was also torn apart, and quickly merged into the fragments of Fatso's heart. Not good. At the same time, Lu Xingchen's exclamation sounded. What's wrong? Everyone looked at him suspiciously, including Qin Feiyang. The fire of life is a rare treasure of heaven and earth. Once this cluster of fire of life dissipates, even if you find the other 8 fires of life in the future, it can no longer transform into the flower of life. In other words, the flower of life will disappear forever. Qin Feiyang, it's not too late to stop it now. Lu Xingchen ignored the others and looked at Qin Feiyang. Fire of life? Flower of life. Everyone was stunned. What was this? Why had they never heard of it? But Qin Feiyang raised his eyebrows and said, how do you know this? Back then, although Lu Xingchen also went to the Canyon of the Land of Ruins, at that time, even the Monkey King who guarded the fire of life and the Holy Monkey, did not know that it was the fire of life, and only said that it was a magical flame. Moreover, the fire of life had disappeared for a long time, and it was impossible for ordinary people to know. At that time, even he only remembered it after hearing Ren Duxing's introduction. But how did Lu Xingchen know? Facing Qin Feiyang's question, Lu Xingchen did not panic at all, and said, I have seen the records of the flower of life in an ancient book. Qin Feiyang said, you even have this kind of ancient book. You are really unfathomable. Can you lend it to me for a look? Lu Xingchen said in a deep voice, now is not the time to talk about this. I think you should be clear about the magical aspects of the flower of life. In order to save Fatso, let the flower of life become peerless. Do you think it's worth it? It's worth it. What's more, the fire of life might not necessarily dissipate. Qin Feiyang said without the slightest hesitation. The fire of life was indeed very important. In terms of value, Fatso was far inferior, but in Qin Feiyang's eyes, not to mention the fire of life, even the flower of life was not as important as Fatso. Sigh. Lu Xingchen let out a long sigh and said, Don't hold on to such a wishful thinking. I dare to guarantee with my life that the fire of life will dissipate. But this has allowed Fatso to obtain a great fortune. What do you mean? Qin Feiyong frowned. Lu Xingchen said, the fire of life will fuse with his heart, in the future. As long as his heart is not extinguished, it is equivalent to having an immortal body. To be honest, I am quite envious. Immortal body? Qin Feiyong was taken aback and nodded with a smile. If what you said is true, this is indeed a great fortune. Why are you so stubborn? Lu Xingchen was a little angry. Qin Feiyong smiled faintly, checked Fatso's heart again, and was immediately overjoyed. The split heart finally began to heal at this moment. Chapter 619. After his heart was repaired, Fatso's life force gradually stabilized. Now, he just had to wait for him to wake up. Congratulations. Lu Xingchen smiled at Qin Feiyong, but it was a forced smile. After saying that, he turned around and walked to the corner, sat cross-legged, closed his eyes, and no one knew what he was thinking. Qin Feiyong looked at him deeply and didn't say anything. He turned his head and continued to pay attention to Fatso. Damn human, come out and die. Outside. The crocodile emperor didn't leave. It kept roaring, and its entire body was overflowing with hostility. Half an hour later. Boom. Inside the ancient castle, a powerful aura suddenly erupted, shocking everyone. Everyone looked at Wolf King. Wolf King's small body was emitting a bright light, like a golden sun. Suddenly, it opened its eyes, and two golden beams of light burst out. Its eyes carried a great majesty. Qin Feiyong asked, "You broke through?" Wolf King nodded, got up and said, "Send me out, I want to kill that bastard to avenge Fatso." As he spoke, his entire body emitted a shocking murderous aura. Qin Feiyong said, "I think Fatso wants to take revenge himself." Whoosh! Wolf King raised his eyebrows, turned into a stream of light, and landed on Qin Feiyong's shoulder. He looked down at Fatso, who was lying on the ground, and muttered, "He's not dead even like this guy is really lucky." Then, it looked at Qin Feiyong and asked, "Is the fire of life really gone?" "Gone. However, I found another cluster," Qin Feiyong whispered. Wolf King's eyes lit up and said, "Where is it?" Qin Feiyong whispered, "On the black dragon snake." And Wolf King was stunned and thought to himself, could it be that the flame snatched from the mother crocodile was the flame of life? Although it had been in seclusion, it had heard the conversation between Qin Feiyong and the black dragon snake outside. It was just that at that time, Qin Feiyong did not explain, so it did not know that it was the fire of life. Qin Feiyong nodded. The corner of Wolf King's mouth twitched. He was speechless. "You're really lucky. But from your conversation with it, that guy doesn't seem to be easy to deal with." "Yeah. A treacherous old fox." Qin Feiyong nodded, looking a little angry. Boom. Before he finished speaking, another powerful aura burst out from his body. Everyone was bewildered. This aura was almost exactly the same as Wolf King's when he broke through. Could it be that someone had broken through again? Everyone hurriedly looked at the source of the aura, their eyes filled with disbelief. Even Qin Feiyong and Wolf King were the same. The aura actually came from Fatso. Fatso had yet to wake up, but his aura was like a rainbow. Not only had he reached the peak of the 1-star War Master, he was even trying to break through to the 2-star War Master. Was this a dream? One had to know. Fatso had just broken through to the 1-star War Master a while ago. It didn't make sense for him to be so fast. Wolf King was stunned for a moment, then looked at Qin Feiyong and asked, "What's going on?" "I don't know either." Qin Feiyong shook his head, his face full of confusion. Lu Xingchen also opened his eyes and sized up Fatso, and said, "I guess it should be because of the fire of life." Qin Feiyong asked in surprise, "You mean the fire of life allowed him to break through?" Lu Xingchen said, "I think so because there's no other explanation." Qin Feiyong nodded. The fire of life was a legendary divine item. The ancient books only had a rough introduction and did not record it in detail. Perhaps he really had the ability to do so. Boom. While Qin Feiyong and Lu Xingchen were talking, Fatso's aura had already risen to the 2-star War Master level. Fuck, this doesn't make any sense. I worked hard and cultivated for more than half a year before breaking through to the 2-star War Master level. But he only got injured and broke through after a nap. The heavens are unfair. Wolf King roared angrily. Qin Feiyong laughed. This is what they mean by if you survive a great disaster, you are bound for good fortune. Wolf King had broken through. Fatso had also broken through by chance. Now, the overall strength of their small team was enough to suppress any of the 9 great states. If they met Wan Qiu and the others in the future, they would no longer be afraid of the spiritual state. It was also at this moment. Fatso's eyelids moved and he slowly opened his eyes. His eyes were a little confused. Where is this? Why doesn't it look like hell? Could it be that Fat Lord has come to heaven? Ordinary people can't go to heaven. It seems that Fat Lord is indeed a good person. Fatty mumbled, and in the end, he even laughed narcissistically. Everyone was speechless. How could this damned Fatso be considered a good person? If he could, then there would be no bad people in the world. Qin Feiyong kicked him and said, "Get up if you're awake. Don't smile like an idiot." Boss. Fatso was stunned. He suddenly turned over and got up. Scanning the crowd around him, he said in surprise, "Fat Lord isn't dead? Yeah. You're too shameless. Even the heavens don't dare to accept you." Wolf King rolled his eyes. "That's impossible." Fatso frowned and looked inside his heart. Wasn't his heart broken? Why was it fine now? What was going on? Was this an illusion? He fiercely pinched the fat on his stomach and grimaced in pain. It's not an illusion. Then why is this? Could it be that Fat Lord is too kind? Even the heavens are too embarrassed to take away Fat Lord's life? He muttered to himself with a confused expression. Can you not be so shameless? Qin Feiyong's face twitched. He fiercely knocked Fatso's head and immediately told Fatso what had happened before in detail. So that's how it is. Only then did Fatso come to a realization, but then a look of ecstasy appeared on his face. He had actually profited from a disaster and broken through to a 2-star battle master? Sigh. However, he suddenly sighed softly again. Why are you sighing? Qin Feiyong was puzzled. Without a doubt, Fat Lord was a very good person in both his past and present life. Therefore, one should do less bad things and accumulate more good deeds. Only then will one have great luck. The fatty chuckled. His smug look immediately aroused public indignation. Qin Feiyong kicked Fatso on the spot. He was in so much pain that he cried out loudly. He was still injured. How could he be treated with violence? He scolded Qin Feiyong for being heartless. Of course. This was just a joke to liven up the atmosphere. It was also a different way to express his joy at the moment. Okay. Stop fooling around. It's time to get down to business. Qin Feiyong's face turned solemn and a cold light surged in his eyes. At that moment, the whole place fell silent. Fatso sneered. Indeed, I have to settle this score with it. If it wasn't for the fire of life, he would have gone to hell. All this was thanks to the Crocodile Emperor. Naturally, he had to repay it double. Qin Feiyong looked at Dong Xingyang and the rest. You guys don't have to go out this time. Fatso and White-Eyed Wolf will go out with me. Okay. They nodded. Of course, they knew that they couldn't get involved in the upcoming battle. Swoosh. Qin Feiyong waved his hand and appeared outside with Wolf King and Fatso. Boom. Crack. As soon as the 2 men and 1 wolf appeared, they saw a doomsday-like scene. The Crocodile Emperor was crazily destroying the earth. It affected half of the island. The mountains collapsed and the ground was shattered. Qin Feiyong looked around and looked up at the Crocodile Emperor. He said sternly, "We're out. It's time for you to die." Ha! The Crocodile Emperor stopped and looked at the 2 men and the wolf. It immediately looked at Fatso in shock and anger. Why aren't you dead? You think a piece of trash like you can kill Fat Lord? Fatso looked at it with disdain. Wolf King shouted, "Cut the crap. Just cripple it." Cripple me? You guys really have guts. The Crocodile Emperor roared and charged towards the 2 men and the wolf with monstrous anger. With every step it took, the earth would tremble and crack. The momentum was terrifying. However, Fatso was no longer the Fatso of the past. Swish! He took a step forward and walked towards the Crocodile Emperor without flinching. Although the man and beast were walking, Their speed was extremely fast. They gathered in a dozen breaths. Boom! Without saying a word, the Crocodile Emperor's battle aura surged and charged towards Fatso. At the same time, Fatso also activated the dragon transformation ability and instantly transformed into a dragon warrior. His terrifying aura shook the heavens. Then, he waved his dragon claw and a majestic battle aura rushed towards the Crocodile Emperor's battle aura. Seeing Fatso transform, Wolf King's eyes widened in surprise. Qin Feiyang said, "His dragon transformation ability is very similar to your Fury of Berserk. However, your Fury of Berserk is not as powerful as the dragon transformation ability." "Nonsense, of course I know." Wolf King rolled his eyes at him. The dragon transformation ability was a perfect grade battle art. The Fury of Berserk was only an upper grade battle art. There was a huge difference. However, if they were to really fight, it was still confident that it could easily defeat Fatso. Qin Feiyang did not doubt it. Because the white-eyed wolf had a perfect grade battle art, its speed was far superior to Fatso's. Most importantly, the white-eyed wolf's battle soul was the nemesis of all battle souls. It could devour anything it wanted. Boom! The Crocodile Emperor and Fatso's battle auras finally collided. Accompanied by a deafening sound, Fatso stood firmly on the ground and did not move at all. The Crocodile Emperor was sent flying on the spot, spewing blood from its mouth. With a bang, it rolled on the ground, creating a huge pit. The pain made it howl in agony. However, its heart was filled with disbelief. It got up and stared at Fatso, roaring, "How did you become so strong all of a sudden? I have to thank you for this. If not for you, Fat Lord would not be able to break through to 2-star battle ancestor so quickly. Quickly show me your battle soul. Otherwise you have no chance of winning." Fatso smiled coldly. "What? 2-star battle ancestor?" The Crocodile Emperor was stunned. Not only did it fail to kill this person, but it also helped him break through? This was a great humiliation. Roar! The Crocodile Emperor roared, and a dark light rose behind it. There was a palm-sized object in it. Wolf King asked, "This is its battle soul?" Qin Feiyang nodded. "No matter how strong the battle soul is, it is just trash in front of me." Wolf King did not care and immediately activated his battle soul. A golden beast shadow appeared in the sky, exuding the majesty of a supreme beast. The Crocodile Emperor looked up at the beast shadow, and its pupils contracted. This battle soul made it feel an inexplicable sense of panic. "Brother Wolf, you don't have to deal with this small fry. You just have to watch the show." Chapter 620. Alright, I'll watch your performance. But if I'm not satisfied with your performance, I'll beat you up. Wolf King glanced at Fatso indifferently. With a thought, the golden beast shadow quickly dissipated. "Don't worry, I guarantee that you'll be satisfied." Fatso chuckled. Roar! Accompanied by a deafening dragon roar, a black dragon rose from behind Fatso. The black dragon was dozens of feet long, like a mountain ridge in the sky, releasing a shocking dragon aura. Black dragon horn. Fatty let out a low growl. A thick dragon horn quickly grew out from the center of the black dragon's head. The dragon horn was more than 10 meters long and as thick as a thigh. Its surface was glowing with a black light. It was like a divine weapon had appeared in the world. Its divine might was vast and mighty, and it shook the space and the earth. Wow, it even has a dragon horn. This black dragon soul is quite powerful. Wolf King was surprised. Qin Feiyang smiled. The dragon soul is one of the most powerful fighting souls in the world. Wolf King asked telepathically, "What about your purple gold dragon soul?" "Who knows?" Qin Feiyang shrugged his shoulders, revealing an unfathomable expression. "TSK." Wolf King glanced at him in disdain. "Little worm, have a taste of the power of your Fat Lord Dragon Soul. Kill." At this moment, Fatty let out a low growl. Before his voice died away, the black dragon soul dragged its huge body across the sky and rushed toward the black artifact with earth-shattering might. Boom! In an instant, the dragon horn and the black artifact collided. Crack! An ear-piercing sound suddenly exploded, resounding through the clouds. The black artifact was shattered into pieces under the impact of the dragon horn and turned into nothingness in the blink of an eye. Puff! The crocodile emperor spat out a mouthful of blood. Its huge eyes were filled with shock. Previously, it had fought with Fatso's dragon soul, but at that time, the dragon soul was no match for its fighting soul. But now, Fatso had broken through to 2-star War Master, and the power of the dragon soul had also increased explosively. Its fighting soul was already unparalleled. How is it? Do you feel hopeless? Fatso grinned. The black dragon soul swooped down and pounced towards the crocodile emperor ferociously. The one who should despair is not me, but you. The crocodile emperor's eyes were filled with murderous intent. After he finished speaking, he let out a thunderous roar. Roar! On the other side of the island, loud roars could be heard as if responding to the crocodile emperor. Boom! Following closely, the island over there exploded with a series of loud noises. In the meantime, half of the island shook violently, and even a few mountain peaks in the distance collapsed. Qin Feiyang was extremely bewildered. What are you doing? He asked angrily. Do what? Of course it's to destroy this island. At that time, no matter how powerful you are, you won't be able to escape death. Emperor Crocodile grinned. Boom. Having said that, the Crocodile Emperor did not retreat. Instead, it charged towards Fatso's black dragon soul. Leave all of you to die with us. The Crocodile Emperor roared as its head was torn to pieces by the black dragon snake. Its blood dyed the ground red. Bam! Then, its huge body fell to the ground and died on the spot. Boom! The loud noises on the other side of the island were deafening, and the island was shaking more violently. Damn it! Fatso cursed and dispersed the black dragon snake. He turned to look at Qin Feiyang and asked, Boss, what do we do now? Qin Feiyang's face was solemn as well. Destroy the island and let them die with it. He did not expect the Crocodile Emperor to do such a crazy thing. After pondering for a moment, Qin Feiyang waved his hand. Dong Zhengyang, Jiang Wei, Shenlong, Dongfang Wuhan, and Murong Xiong appeared. Qin Feiyang said in a low voice, Follow Fatso immediately and kill the 13 king crocodile. Dong Zhengyang asked, What about the other dragon crocodiles? Qin Feiyang's eyes were cold as he said coldly, Kill them all. Boss, I'm afraid this method won't work. Because they can sneak into the swamp and destroy the foundation of the island. By then the island will still sink. Fatso said. Dong Zhengyang and the others nodded. Qin Feiyang said, I've thought about this before, but now we can only do our best to stop them from destroying the island. Dong Zhengyang said, All right, we'll do our best. Whoosh! The 6 of them immediately rushed to the other side of the island. Watching the 6 of them leave, Wolf King asked, What are the 2 of us doing? Qin Feiyang said, Looking for a way to leave the island. It was obviously unrealistic to build a bridge now, so they had to find another way. What other way is there? Wolf King looked at him suspiciously. Look for the black dragon snake. The black dragon snake has lived here for hundreds of years. It might have a way to leave this place. Qin Feiyang's eyes flickered. Whiz! 1 man and 1 wolf immediately turned around and rushed towards the valley. The valley was where Qin Feiyang and the black dragon snake parted ways. If they wanted to find the black dragon snake, they naturally had to start there. Qin Feiyang was not worried about not being able to find it. Firstly, the black dragon snake would definitely leave traces along the way. Secondly, Wolf King could also track the scent of the black dragon snake. Soon, they arrived at the valley, but the valley had already collapsed when they fought with the mother crocodile, leaving behind a mess. Qin Feiyang recalled the direction the black dragon snake left in and chased after it. Sure enough, along the way, the black dragon snake left traces, which was still a wide ditch. Following these traces, a man and a wolf arrived in front of a canyon in the south. The canyon was surrounded by mountains on all sides, and there was only one narrow entrance. The traces led to that entrance. Little Qin Zi, I have a question that has always puzzled me. According to your character, you should have killed Dongfang Wuhan long ago, but why did you forgive them again and again? The Wolf King asked telepathically as he flew toward the canyon. Killing them like this is too easy for them. I want to leave them until the end, let them feel despair, pain, and regret for the rest of their lives. Qin Feiyang sneered, and a fierce look flashed in his eyes. Of course. His voice was very low, and only Wolf King could hear it. No one in the castle could hear it.
Leave them until the end?
Wolf King was stunned, and then seemed to understand something. He secretly laughed and said, "You are really not a good guy. Do you know how to talk?" Qin Feiyong rolled his eyes at him. While talking, a man and a wolf came to the entrance and rushed in without hesitation. The canyon was lush with vegetation and rocks, but it was not big, about 5 or 6 meters. In the corner of the canyon, a huge python was lying in the grass, and a palm-sized flame was floating in front of it. The python was staring at the flame intently, drooling, and didn't even notice the arrival of Qin Feiyong and Wolf King. That's right. The python was the black dragon snake. The flame was the fire of life. When Wolf King saw the fire of life, his eyes suddenly lit up. Qin Feiyong laughed and said, "Little bug, we meet again. This is fate." The black dragon snake was shocked, but when it saw Qin Feiyong, a trace of anger climbed up in its eyes, and it roared, "Why are you always haunting me?" Qin Feiyong strode to the opposite side of the black dragon snake and said with a faint smile, "You treat me like a fool, so of course I won't let it go. What do you want? Let me tell you, my reverse scale has been reborn. 10 of you are no match for me. Get out of here if you don't want to die." The black dragon snake shouted impatiently. "Yeah, so powerful. Come on, let me have a taste of your strength." The Wolf King took a step forward and transformed into a muscular wolf that was more than 10 meters tall. His ferocious aura surged, causing the entire canyon to tremble. The black dragon snake looked at Wolf King in surprise and said, "Who are you? This is between me and him. What does it have to do with you?" "Sorry, little Qin Zi is my little brother. My little brother was fooled, so I must help my little brother get back at him. I heard that your stupid dragon scale is very powerful. Come on, let me see it." The Wolf King stood on the ground and looked down at the black dragon snake with eyes full of contempt. "Little brother?" Qin Feiyong's face twitched. "Stupid thing?" At the same time, the black dragon snake was stunned and became furious on the spot. It said coldly, "Looks like you want to die. Then I'll fulfill your wish." Finished. Accompanied by a loud clanging sound, the reverse scale on the black dragon snake's forehead suddenly fell off, and with a world-destroying edge, it charged towards Wolf King. Qin Feiyong said, "Don't waste time with it. Brother knows." Wolf King laughed and waved its claws. A rib appeared, and then it grabbed the rib and used it as a stick to smash the reverse scale. Clang! The dragon scale shattered on the spot. The black dragon snake spurted out blood, and its eyes were filled with shock. It actually shattered its reverse scale with a single strike? Is this a dream? Boom! It suddenly quivered and turned its head to crash into the mountain behind it, causing the mountain to collapse on the spot. Immediately, without saying a word, it rolled up the fire of life and fled in panic without looking back. "Why are you running?" Wolf King grinned, stepped on the air, and appeared in front of the black dragon snake in a few flashes. At the same time, Qin Feiyong also used phantom steps and blocked the back of the black dragon snake. Being blocked from the front and back, the black dragon snake was burning with anxiety. It roared at Wolf King, "We are the same kind, and you actually helped a human to deal with this emperor. Do you have any self-respect? I already said that he is brother's little brother. Brother will definitely help him. Cut the crap, hand over the fire of life and submit to us. Brother will let bygones be bygones. But if you dare to refuse, brother's dog beating stick will take your life." Wolf King laughed coldly. The black dragon snake looked at the rib on Wolf King's claws, and the fear in its eyes was undisguised. Suddenly, it turned to look at Qin Feiyong and smiled. "Brother, let's still follow our initial agreement. This emperor will follow you for 10 years, and this fire of life will still belong to this emperor. How about it?" There was a hint of flattery in his words. "There's only one chance." Qin Feiyong shook his head. The black dragon snake smiled flatteringly. "Don't be like this, it was indeed this emperor's fault at that time. Can't this emperor apologize to you?" The speed at which he turned hostile was faster than flipping a book. Wolf King said disdainfully, "Do you think that you still have the qualifications to negotiate with us now?" This emperor. The black dragon snake wanted to say something. Qin Feiyong's eyes flashed and said indifferently, "You don't have to say anything, I'll give you another chance. All right, all right, all right. Speak, speak. Qin Feiyong said, "The crocodile emperor has been killed by us." The black dragon snake's heart was suddenly in turmoil. Having lived on the island for hundreds of years, it knew the crocodile emperor's strength better than anyone else. It could definitely be called an overlord. But in the end, it died in the hands of this group of humans. It seemed that the strength of this group of humans was far stronger than what it had seen before. The black dragon snake calmed down and asked, "You want me to stop them?" Qin Feiyong asked, "Can you?" The black dragon snake shook its head and said, "I don't have the ability because those vicious crocodiles only listen to the crocodile emperor's orders." Qin Feiyong frowned and said, "Then do you have a way to leave this place?" "No. If there was a way, I would have left long ago. I wouldn't have lived here for hundreds of years." The black dragon snake sighed with a hint of mockery in its eyes. On one hand it was mocking itself. On the other hand, it was mocking Qin Feiyong. Was there any meaning to snatching the flame of life when he was about to die? Qin Feiyong ignored it. He lowered his head and frowned. The black dragon snake said, "Don't think about it. Unless you can fly or subdue a crocodile king, you will definitely die." Fly. Subdue a crocodile king? Qin Feiyong was stunned. These two options were worth a try. He looked at the wolf king and said, "Give me the rib." "Why?" The wolf king was puzzled. Qin Feiyong said, "Don't talk nonsense. Give it to me." The wolf king looked at him suspiciously and threw the rib to Qin Feiyong. Qin Feiyong grabbed the rib and looked up at the sky. The gravity above the iron chain bridge leading to the ruins was many times more terrifying than the gravity here. But this rib could dispel the gravity. In that case, dispelling the gravity here would not be a problem. Whoosh! After making full preparations, Qin Feiyong suddenly jumped up. As soon as he jumped into the sky, the gravity surged. At the same time, the rib in his hand glowed with a hazy brilliance. Qin Feiyong immediately felt his body become light and suspended in the void. The gravity also disappeared. Really? Qin Feiyong was overjoyed. The Wolf King looked at this scene and was also very surprised. The black dragon snake was full of surprise. What kind of bone could break the rules here? Flying. For creatures living in the Nine Nether Hell, flying was simply something that they did not dare to hope for. How could the black dragon snake not be surprised when it happened in front of its eyes? The Wolf King shouted, "Little Qin Zi, fly around for me." Qin Feiyong nodded with a smile. But at this moment, a sudden change occurred. A gravitational force that was even more powerful than before descended from the sky and smashed onto Qin Feiyong's body. Bang! At this moment, Qin Feiyong smashed into the ground below like a meteorite. Blood kept coming out of his mouth and his body was about to fall apart. What's going on? The Wolf King stared and hurriedly ran to Qin Feiyong's side, asking with concern, "Are you still alive? You want me to die, don't you?" Qin Feiyong looked up and glared at it angrily. Even if it cared about someone, it shouldn't care about him like this. Then he looked up at the sky, his eyes full of surprise. The previous situation gave him the feeling that someone was secretly controlling the gravity. And it seemed to be warning him not to break the rules here. But wasn't this too ridiculous? The Wolf King egged him on. "Why don't you try again?" Qin Feiyong pondered for a while, got up, grabbed the rib, and jumped into the sky again. The gravity immediately shrouded him. But this time, something even stranger than the previous one happened. The rib in his hand did not respond. Without a doubt, he was blasted down by the gravity again, creating a big pit. What's going on? The Wolf King looked at the sky in bewilderment, unable to understand. Qin Feiyong got up in a sorry state and said in a deep voice, "There's only one explanation. The rib is afraid and doesn't dare to wake up." What? The Wolf King was dumbfounded. Qin Feiyong said, "It seems that the Nine Nether Yellow Springs is far from the ruins. We can't break the rules here anymore." The Wolf King asked, "Then tell me, who set the rules here?" One must know that the owner of this rib was Mu Tianyang. Mu Tianyang was the emperor of the previous dynasty's Tianyang Empire, and was a strong opponent of the first emperor of the Great Qin Empire. One could imagine how strong he was. Now that even the rib was afraid, then wouldn't the person who set up this rule be even more terrifying than Mu Tianyang? Suddenly, the Wolf King seemed to think of something and looked at Qin Feiyong in surprise. Could it be him? Qin Feiyong's eyes trembled. He pondered for a while and nodded. It could be him. Who? The black dragon snake asked curiously. The Wolf King immediately frowned and said coldly, "It's none of your business, don't ask." The black dragon snake shrank its neck, its eyes full of fear. The person that Qin Feiyong and the Wolf King were talking about was naturally the first emperor. Because in this world, only this legendary supreme existence had this ability. And only this founding emperor of the great Qin Empire had the strength to make Mu Tianyang afraid. But this was just a guess. What was going on was still to be verified. However, flying was definitely impossible. Now there was only one last way, which was to subdue the king crocodile. Qin Feiyong shook off the soil on his body, put away the rib, and rushed to meet up with Fatso with the Wolf King and the black dragon snake. A few hundred breaths later, Qin Feiyong came to the other end of the island and saw Fatso and the others standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down at the swamp in front of them with ugly expressions. And in the swamp, not a single dragon crocodile could be found. Qin Feiyong frowned and asked, "What's the situation?" Fatso said angrily, "These beasts are very cunning. When they saw us coming, they all hid below. The most important thing is that the footholds further away have been destroyed by them. Right now, the closest foothold to us is 600 to 700 meters away. There's no way to go over such a long distance." Dong Zhangyang said in a deep voice, his face full of worry. The black dragon snake said disdainfully, "If you don't get rid of the crocodiles first, even if there is a foothold, do you dare to go over?" Because of the death of the crocodile emperor, the crocodile group had already gone crazy and would definitely not chase them away like before. Just as the black dragon snake said, once they landed on other islands or mounds, the crocodile group would definitely chase after them and beat them up. Moreover, it was countless times more dangerous than on this island. Because the other islands and mounds were too small and fragile, they could not withstand the impact of the crocodile group. However, if they did not think of a way, when the crocodile group destroyed the foundation of the island, they would still sink into the swamp with the island. It would still be a dead end. "Boss, Fat Lord doesn't want to die young. You must think of a way." Fatso looked helplessly at Qin Feiyong. Qin Feiyong looked at the swamp, his eyes flickering, and said after a moment, "You guys stay here and watch. I will go to the castle and ask Ren Wushuang and the others. Black Dragon Snake, you will follow Fatso from now on. No matter what he says, you have to listen unconditionally." After saying that, he flashed and went to the castle. "You want this emperor to follow you, fat pig?" Hearing Qin Feiyong's words, the black dragon snake immediately looked at Fatso, its eyes full of disdain. "What? Following Fat Lord? Are you at a disadvantage?" Fatso raised his eyebrows. The black dragon snake said disdainfully, "With your wretched appearance, why don't you go and look in the mirror? Are you worthy of this emperor? You're not much better." Fatso snorted coldly. The black dragon snake said, "As long as I'm better than you." Fatso rolled up his sleeves and said angrily, "Fat Lord's temper, are you asking for a beating?" "You're the one who's asking for a beating. If you have the guts, wait for this emperor to repair his reverse scale and fight. Whoever loses will be my follower." The black dragon snake provoked, full of confidence. "Yo, you're quite timid. You even dare to provoke Fat Lord." Fatso let out a strange cry, looked at the black dragon snake as if he was looking at an idiot, and said, "All right, Fat Lord, just you wait. If I don't beat you up until you cry for your father and mother, Fatso's name will be written upside down." You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.